Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody out there. Old school intro from the previous podcast, Kyle and I, Ron. How we doing out there? All right.
Yeah, no one listened to that one.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Episode 102 of the CGP Current Gen Podcast. I'm Jeff, joined by Kyle and Dan. Tim,
Hello.
my understanding is he's having a civil war in his house. And
Well,
Derek is Dereking, so.
Is it like
kids
in
like trying to overthrow them? Is that what's
is
going
it the
on?
is
There's
it the
more of
end
them
game?
than there are the parents. So
Is it
you know.
is it the Tim Nestor end game? Is it like the end game equivalent of Avengers? His entire
No, they're
family,
fighting in an airport.
you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
him,
they're fighting
him and his wife are Thanos and I don't know the Squidbilly or whatever. Tim's obviously Squidbilly. The kids are uprising like the Avengers. So
It's the entire the Avengers coming through the portals. You
the
know,
Russo brothers is writing it, guys. It'll be out soon.
basically
Well,
we're saying Tim has a lot of kids. So
Way too many. It's think Brady Bunch, but bigger. Multiply
Yep.
that by like at least 8.
Yep.
Wow.
So we have a lot to talk about. This is a heck of an episode that Tim missed out on because he's kind of the Nintendo guy. Like, I mean, I know
The
Kyle,
Nintendo
you're a
guy.
big Nintendo fan too, but
I'm the Nintendo guy.
but we have a direct to cover, and I will do it with the most enthusiasm I can muster. Okay, I promise you.
hey, it was a fun direct. I mean,
No, it was. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
Jesse out about it and be like, oh, I'm not interested in any of this stuff. But like,
Maybe I aged out of this. You know, I heard someone say that too.
I mean,
I'm
Jesse's a cranky old man, and that's fine. I mean, I'm a
Yeah,
cranky old man on the inside, but equally enthusiastic about things
I
that
am,
I'm.
but with people. Like, with
Sure,
people
right,
saying
that are
Nintendo,
not.
people saying they're too old for Nintendo are the same people who are like, well, I'm just too old for Disney and Pixar. I'm like, okay, live without joy. I don't give a shit. Whatever.
Yeah, live without introspection and
Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
Oh, you
feelings,
hate
that's
happiness. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, we'll get to the direct, and obviously things we're playing because we have a lot of stuff to cover in terms of things we're playing. Before we do that, Tim had asked if anybody wanted to host, or what do we call it, MC a game. So I'm going to do a little mini game, and this is going to work perfect with two of you.
Well,
'cause
you
it's
have
gonna
to
be
call
easy
it what
to
it's
support.
called, Jeff. It's called Current Gen Battle
Current
Square.
Gen Battle Square. Hey, everybody, get into a battle square.
It's actually a reference for Final Fantasy VII, Jeff. Just so you
I
know.
totally knew that. I knew the reference because I'm a pro gamer.
No.
So the topic of this, this is just multiple choice. The topic is Who Said It? Video Game Movies Edition. Okay, and that sounds like it's gonna be tough. Like you're gonna be like, these are a little too obscure. Just wait for the multiple choices. All right, there's gonna be some
So-
dead giveaways.
Quotes from characters from video game related movies.
Yes, these
Okay.
are all the answers will either be character names or movie titles.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
And I
yeah.
figured I picked something movie related because it's my wheelhouse.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
So, question number 1. And you get 2 points if you can answer before the multiple choice, okay? Just want to throw that out there.
Sure. I like
That's how I'm
extra
gonna
points.
do
Yeah, I like that. Bonus points. Yeah.
All right,
Bonus points.
let me move this over. I can't see shit. All right. What is the name of the character that said, do you know what I love about mud? It's clean and it's dirty at the same time.
Why I know this quote. That's what sucks about me. Is it Bowser from Mario Brothers movie?
Oh my God.
Am I right?
I'll
am I
give
right?
it to you because it's King Koopa. That's what he's known as. in the
Oh
movie.
yeah,
Sure,
he has like
sure.
Koopa. And I'm right. Come on.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm right.
I did it. Woo!
See, I knew that some of these would be like, because we're 90s kids.
Yeah.
Some of
Like
us
the
feel
second
like-
you said that,
Hold
I
on,
could
but
see someone in
now
my
I don't get
mind's
to
eye
guess,
saying
though.
it. Yeah.
Now I don't get to guess, so I lose points.
That's whoever chimes in first.
Okay. Well,
You don't lose points.
Well,
You
he
just
said
add 0.
before
sorry.
he mentions the
I don't.
four
I don't
to
watch
say.
terrible '90s video game movie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
movies.
You weren't a kid in the '90s. I'm sorry. You were a
I,
movie
I,
critic in the
I
'90s.
was. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
actually.
that's what you're doing.
Some of these will
like
will
you were
definitely
6
be
years
like,
old, going like, "That's gonna be garbage. I'm not watching that."
Some of these are going to be like, all
Hats
right,
off to you.
I don't know what that is. Come on, man. This is so obscure. All right. But number 2, this will probably be another Kyle one. I'm sorry, Dan.
Well, hold
Number
on.
2.
So say what it is, but then at least let me guess the multiple choice.
But he said you
Please.
get extra points if you can
All
say
right.
it before the multiple choice.
Fine.
Which
Yes.
is why I did it. Yeah.
Yes.
You get the double points.
That's fair.
All right. So would it help if one of you just said your name first?
Not just.
Buzzing with your name or something.
No, we'll go with
Okay.
what Kyle did. Yeah.
All right. So number 2, in Mortal Kombat, the 1995 one, not the most recent one, which character said, "What I want to know is if this Shang Tsung guy is so great, how come he's got such a crummy looking boat?" I can go to multiple choice.
Is it Johnny Cage?
Damn it.
I can go
That's
to.
what
I can go to multiple choice.
Is that not true? Is that not right, Johnny Cage?
I was
that's
gonna
not right.
say Johnny. I was gonna say Johnny Cage also, but you said
Yeah. Okay, multiple choice me.
All right.
Yeah, or us.
A, Johnny Cage, which is not right. B, Sonya Blade. C, Reptile.
No.
Don't worry about it. It's just a throwaway multiple choice. D, Kano.
Kano.
He got it. He got it again.
Was it Kano?
Yeah, it was Kano. Yeah. That's why I picked that
Kano's
quote,
on
'cause
his side though. That's
He is, but he
Yeah,
was
but Kano's
being
always on
indulgent.
his own side. Yeah.
I just don't
When
even
he's-
remember. Yeah.
He's eating at the dinner table, and Goro's on the other side, and he's like, "Well, he's got such a crummy looking boat," and he spits
Yeah,
out.
no, it's like where he's like grossly eating. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's disgusting.
yeah. I remember like he's like just pigging himself out.
Yeah. It's been
All right,
so
now
long
we're going
since
to the
I've watched
more recent movie, number 3. Which character said, "Where am I? What year is it? Is The Rock president?"
Is
That
the
sounds
Rock
so
president?
familiar.
Yeah.
That actually sounds very familiar.
Where?
Okay, I can give
Yes,
you a.
multiple choice. Yeah, multiple
Yeah.
choice says.
Is it A, Sonic the Hedgehog, from the recent Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
Okay.
B, Callum Lynch, Assassin's Creed.
I was gonna say Sonic.
Some of these are stupid. I'm sorry. C, Claire Redfield from Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City.
No.
D, Agent 47, Hitman. Come on, there's one answer.
I was gonna say Sonic, right?
Okay.
I was gonna say Sonic, but Dan totally said it first. So.
All right. Dan gets a point. Dan's on the board. Okay. Number 4. Which character said? I should probably do this with the
He's
accent.
cracking
Right.
himself up over there.
I just love this quote so much. Well, I'm gonna do it without the accent. Okay.
Sure.
Well, I'm gonna get on my boat and I'm gonna kick that son of a bitch's ass so hard the next wannabe is gonna feel it.
That sounds familiar also.
I removed the name.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, go ahead. And,
All right.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know
All
about that one.
If I said it in the accent, you get it. So, is it A, Doom Guy from the most famous movie ever, Doom, 2005? Anduin Lothar from Warcraft, was it him? C, Sonic the Hedgehog, or D, Guile, Street Fighter?
Can you say the
Guile?
quote again? Is it Guile?
Yeah, Dan said it first. I'll give it to Dan.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. I just before you said the quote again, if Dan got it, don't.
That
Google it.
sounded
Yeah.
like a Street Fighter movie.
If I said it in
quote.
the accent, it'd be, I'm going to get on my boat and kick that son of a bitch bison's ass so
Yeah,
hard.
That sounds like Jean-Claude. That sounds like something
I
Jean-Claude
would have
would
gotten
say.
that immediately if you did
That
the
the
accent.
next
Yeah.
bison wannabe
The
is full
second
of
you would have been
shit or
like,
whatever.
listen here, I'm like, that's Street Fighter. For me, it was just a Tuesday.
That was another quote that I was going to pick, and I was like, no, I'm going to pick the one about
No, that's too famous.
the
You can't do
next
that
guy's
one.
going to feel it or whatever. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one is a more recent movie, number 5. What movie is the following quote from? This is your guess on the movie title. Animals like you, they lick you. They don't like you, they eat you. You always know where you stand. This is
Is
tough.
it Rampage?
Damn it. You got it right away.
I've never even seen that movie.
Yeah, I've
so-
never seen. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed.
I've never seen it. It just contextually, and because you said it was a modern movie, that just made sense to me. So
Yeah, all of these
That was a
were,
good guess.
yeah, thank
That
you.
was a really
I know.
good guess,
Hey,
especially if
you
you're not
guys.
seeing-
Hey, you guys. I know it was a good guess. I was.
By
there.
the way, movie is actually not. I expected it to be trash. It's not that bad. It's not good.
Yeah, but when you say not that bad, do you like drop everything and go watch it right now?
It's like Sonic, not bad, in my opinion.
I don't give a shit.
I know a lot of people love Sonic, but I think it's like
I don't give a
fine.
shit about Sonic.
I thought it was fun. I mean,
It was a movie for sure. You know.
was fun. It was fun.
I'm not saying it was bad. The word "it's bad" hasn't come out of my mouth. I'm just,
Yeah.
you know, I'm
It was
not
one of the
apprehensive. I'm
movies-
apprehensive to call it good too. So.
One of the movies to movie in a long time.
Okay, man, you guys are.
It's one of the most.
I like
movies-
Detective Pikachu. When people were like, "That movie's good," and I watched it, I go, "Yeah, okay." I mean, that was fun.
Actually,
like,
did
you
like
know,
that one.
Yeah,
I mean, it got
I
really stupid, but I mean, I like that
it.
one.
It was very stupid, but like at least like
Yeah.
it had fun with itself. Sonic, I was like, I don't know about this one.
See, I thought Sonic was kind of fun. I mean,
You know what I
also,
like about
I also
Sonic?
like Jim Carrey.
I was
so-
about to say that. You know what I like about
Jim
Sonic?
Carrey.
Everything
Yep.
Jim Carrey was doing in that whole movie, I
Yeah.
liked. Everything about it, and like legit might see the second one just because he's in it still. So
Mm.
you know.
Well, and Idris Elba.
Idris,
right?
yeah,
I mean,
Idris's
come on.
Knuckles is interesting to me.
I mean, come on, that's
He
all right,
said he
so,
wasn't going to make Knuckles sexy, so I'm out.
he's a
out.
liar. Well, he lied because he is sexy. So
number
Just
6. Dan, you still have plenty of opportunities here. Number 6, because there's like 3 more questions left.
okay.
What movie is the following exchange from? Character 1, listen, Dragonfly, I tell you when to tag me. Character 2, don't call me Dragonfly.
that Last of Us?
What?
Aren't they
Is it a
called? Oh, no,
movie?
they're called Fireflies. Oh no,
Yeah,
yeah, we're
yeah.
talking movies. God damn it, yeah. Like Dragonflies, it's Fireflies. No, this one I don't know. Yeah.
Is it multiple choice? Is it Resident Evil Apocalypse? B. Resident Evil Afterlife.
Oh God.
C. Resident Evil: The Final
Oh,
Chapter.
this is just dumb.
D. Double Dragon.
Double Dragon. Double Dragon.
I heard Kyle first. We can go back in the
That
tape.
was like tie. That was
Oh
tie.
no, it was totally me first.
It was
totally
tie.
Kyle first.
I may have a bias. I don't know.
I heard the D.
Give
from
us
Kyle's
both a
mouth.
point.
All right, that's
Give us
fine. I
both
can
a
give you
point
both
on
a
that
point.
one. Yeah.
Can't hurt.
Democracy.
That's how democracy works, folks.
Right.
Somebody stormed the Capitol. They disagree with that opinion. All right.
It's voter fraud on my part, and I'm not going to tell you how I did it.
Or prove it. Nobody's going to be able to prove it either. All right. So number 7. Which character said, "I don't want to be one of those things walking around without a soul"? This is this is very vague, so I'm just going to go into multiple choice.
Apparently, I haven't watched enough video game movie adaptations.
Apparently, I watched too many because I'm
Yeah.
very
I watched
enthusiastic. I'm very enthusiastic about how right I am about some of these answers. So,
The multiple
watch
choice
better
on this
movies.
one, is it A, Rain from Blood Rain, B, Rain from Resident Evil, C, Lord Raiden from Mortal Kombat, or D, Artemis from Monster Hunter?
What was the quote again? Sorry.
I don't want to be one of those things walking around without a soul.
Resident Evil guy.
I'm gonna say Raiden.
Kyle got it. It was Resident Evil, and it was actually
Resident
Michelle
Evil
Pfeiffer's
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember a Rain in that, but I remember that being from Resident Evil, so I was just waiting for you to say Resident
That's
Evil.
because nobody cares about those movies and nobody can remember those names.
Was that from the first one?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
first
I
one's
remember-
not
I remember
bad.
That quote. That first one, it's a fun movie, and the second one is an Easter egg hunt, and then I don't give
Yeah.
a shit about any of the movies.
Yep,
They
yep.
moved the track really quick.
Nemesis is in the second
new
movie. and
Resident
that's
Evil
cool, though.
movie feels a lot like Resident Evil 2 to me. Like
Okay.
Resident Evil whatever, I forget what the second one was called. but,
Apocalypse?
all the
Yeah,
stuff I was
Apocalypse.
like-
Because they're
Yeah.
both like nonsense, crappy movies that are just like,
Sure.
oh, but they put that in there, you know, like
Yeah,
that's both movie
Yeah.
experiences to me.
Exactly.
Wow, they said that
So-
name I know, you know.
So I saw Welcome to Raccoon City too. So the characters though, I don't remember them including so many of the game characters in the Mia Jovovich versions.
By
Is that-
the end of
I'll
it,
say-
they were all
they
pretty
were
much there.
showing up by the end of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was
Yeah,
just
like
corny
what-
as hell, right?
It's just really corny. Yeah. In fact, like I think everybody's in the last chapter, like all the main, the
Yeah.
main characters or whatever.
Gotcha.
It's just like by that point, I so don't give a shit. Because,
Yeah, it's like too little, too
Mila
late. It's like-
Jovovich has been cloned 17 times, and like I
Sure.
just don't care. Like it's
It's
so,
like
I'm
bringing
so
back
checked out.
the 3 main people from Jurassic Park for like the 6th sequel.
Yeah, right. At this point, I can't, you know.
It's like, who cares anymore? Sorry, I know people care. I'm
That
sorry.
looks like a fun movie.
Okay,
That
sure.
looks like a fun
Dan,
movie.
I'm gonna need you to check out for a second, all right?
Dude, dinosaurs, Kyle. Dinosaurs. Dino DNA.
All right.
Dino
last-
DNA.
The last question I have is, what movie is the following exchange from? Character 1, look at this. They've been monitoring everything we do. Character 2, geez, bunch of pervs.
God damn
Okay,
it.
that sounds familiar.
Is it A, DOA, Dead or Alive? B, Wing Commander? C, Tomb Raider 2018? Or D, Tekken?
The first
I'm gonna
one,
say Tomb Raider.
Dead or Alive.
Kyle got it.
God damn it.
I mean, because it's a pervy movie. That's why I put the quote in there, because it's a super pervy movie.
All these movies are
Yeah.
terrible, by the way.
The game
All
is
of these
stupid.
movies.
Nothing from my favorite video game movie, the original Silent Hill movie. The only video game movie I would say to ever capture the actual essence of a
Sure.
video game.
I
Yeah.
really like
That one's real.
And I almost have nothing bad to say about the movie. Some girl gets ripped from the inside out vagina first with barbed wire. It's a crazy movie, man.
Yeah.
That movie
Yeah.
is
Wild.
nutty.
I saw that in a movie theater before
Same
I
here.
did that regularly, and it was a gamble. I saw it with my mom, and we were both like horribly scarred by that movie.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah,
perfectly
yeah.
captured.
Dude, the chick
the
on
essence of
fire
that.
and the camera's just on her like for five,
Dude,
like what feels like 5
lingers.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's just
lingers.
burning alive. Like, Jesus.
There
movie's
is
so
a lot
underrated.
of horrifying stuff, and like Pyramid Head, Pyramid Head was perfect. Like he was such a presence.
Ripping-
I don't know. I really like that movie. People are like,
Yeah.
"There's never
I do
been a
too.
good video game movie." I'm like, "Oh, you're wrong. That one was
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
great." So
Yeah.
And I think I have to acknowledge that I have '90s blinders on for the Mortal Kombat, the first Mortal
Oh,
Kombat.
yeah,
I know there's a
absolutely.
bunch of dumb stuff.
I
in it,
love
but
the
I
first
love
Mortal
that
Kombat
movie.
movie. Can I tell you something? I love the Mario movie. I think it's fucking. I think it's great.
Wow,
I think it's so absurd
Not seen that
that
coming.
like. because like it's not good, but like and
Right.
then you start hearing about like the stories in the background about how everybody on set was drunk because they couldn't tolerate what was going on, and like it was a mess. Like that, it was a chaotic shooting. Like it was
Seriously?
Yeah. Bob
Wow.
Hoskins would show up almost blackout drunk like every
Jesus.
day because he just hated working on that project, and like so like when you're watching that movie, just imagine everyone like fucking 3 shots in on
Yeah.
something.
Like, what are we doing? Is that
Yeah.
thing supposed to be Yoshi? What the fuck is that thing?
Yeah, I
Like-
hear is a nightmare on that set.
Wow.
So when you're
I
watching
didn't
that,
know about that. I
yeah,
just
no,
knew that-
like watch it. Pick up a YouTube video about like the making of the Mario movie, and then go back and watch it, knowing all that stuff, and go, all right, yeah, I'm surprised it's this coherent, even though that movie's completely incoherent. So
I remember watching that, Double Dragon, and Street Fighter pretty regularly on a loop in the years that it came out, and then I haven't seen them since like my teens. You know what I mean? Like,
I think
There
I've
was
seen
a
Double
big
Dragon
period.
once. I've seen Street Fighter like maybe twice. Those weren't.
oh man, I
those
used to
weren't-
watch it all the time and be like, this
Did
is
you
good,
really?
just because they
Yeah.
had the video game characters in it. Like,
Yeah. I feel like if I would have caught him sooner, I probably would have been watching him over and over again.
Yeah.
The kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard.
It's so ord. Yeah. So ord.
Yeah.
there's
I'll be- I have not
an
watched
inaccurate subtitled version of that speech, and it's so funny. Like it's like deliberately typing wrong words in basically what it sounds like he's saying, but it's so
Sure.
funny. I gotta send you guys a clip of that. We should put it in the show notes for the show.
Yes,
yes,
absolutely.
We definitely have them.
Have we ever done that?
No, I don't think so.
Have we ever
Um,
done?
so should we go to the news first or watching and playing first? Which one do you guys want to do?
It's we can get the Nintendo thing. I think Tim usually does like the big thing, which in this case would be the Nintendo thing, and then we can do whatever we want, really. But
Yeah, we
yeah,
could.
I like
we're
closing
adults,
on what we're
Kyle.
doing.
Dad's
Like,
not
You're
here.
an adult. Yeah. Let's just go to the news then. There's going right to Nintendo Direct that happened on the 9th, which was Wednesday. A nice hump day treat.
Indeed.
Did they, in advance of this, advertise anything? I
think
They
like maybe either that day or the day before.
I think it was the day. I think it was the day before. Yeah.
So they said
This is a
something
big
to the
direct to
effect
be
of,
like,
this will be
hey,
only
this is happening.
the first half of we're going to focus mostly on first half of the year stuff. Is that what they
Right.
said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So expectations were kind of in check, even though people were throwing around like there's going to be another Mario Kart.
Sure.
Hey, can I
just provide
take
the
this? Let me take the stage for a second. You guys, Metroid Prime 4 is never coming out. Stop it. It's just never coming out. So
Why
every
you gotta
time
be
you
that
go, they better mention Metroid Prime 4. Just know they're not going to do that.
Why you gotta be like that, Kyle?
So-
Why you gotta be
Because they're
like
just not going to do it. Like they would have done it by now.
that? I mean, I don't know. They're still hiring for it, apparently.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, hiring for it exactly. Almost like it's not started yet or something. It's crazy.
What article that just dropped, was it for Beyond Good and Evil 2 that they're still in pre-production?
Yeah.
Pre-production, yeah.
Yes, I chimed into that post and I was like,
Maybe
"This is
last
Metroid
hard.
Prime 4."
To be
Never
fair,
gonna
that
be made.
game seems insanely huge. Like almost like No
Massive.
Man's
It
Sky
seems
level.
insanely never gonna come out. That's what it seems insanely.
It does.
We'll
It's
see.
Star Citizen types of never going to come out.
Oh jeez, Star Citizen.
I want
That
these games
game
to
is a
come
lot.
out, but guys, cut it out. It's never gonna come out.
It's never going to happen.
You know what, Kyle? You're being a little less positivity and a little more toxicity.
I'm
is what
actually
you're-
Yeah.
taking a new leaf, guys. I've been toxic P for a while now. Now it's time for full blown negativity all the time. So
Wow.
yeah.
less
well,
P,
somebody's gotta-
more T.
Yeah, bring up Xenoblade. I can't wait to talk about that dumb game. Stupid.
Oh Jesus.
No, I'm kidding.
You sound like some.
Xenophobic.
This
That's
is
who
some
you are.
Derek- this is
But
some Derek
for
bullshit
Xenoblade,
right
it's
here.
not-
Someone always gets haunted by Derek during this podcast when he's not here. It's always one of us, and it's just my turn this week, I guess. I don't know.
It's a negativity ghost, right? It's just like
Yeah.
negative. It's like
I'm
negative energy.
possessed by the Derek is inside of me right now, so
He is.
I said what I
Absolutely.
said. You guys,
Absolutely,
let's move
absolutely.
past it.
Wait, so are you Sasan right now, or are you? You Kyle?
He wants me to call him that, but I think he wants to call me that. Excuse me.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to make
yeah,
sure
yeah.
it doesn't feel like cheating. Adultery.
Yeah. Sex.
I want his
Gay stuff.
that
So
sounds
the
good.
Nintendo Direct, there's no segue. There's no segue at all for that. Speaking of direct gay sex, I don't know. So it started with Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes reveal, which is a sequel to Fire Emblem Warriors. I obviously haven't played them because I'm an anime expert and I don't bother with stuff that looks like trash. I'm just
Okay.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Nope.
It's a joke.
Nope.
The ghost
Nope.
popped out of me and went into Jeff. Now Derek is inside of Jeff.
I'm possessed.
Jeff, you have to call yourself Sassen now, so I'm sorry.
But this comes out on June 24th. Features the characters from Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I would play this. This is my preferred style of game over the traditional Fire Emblem, and I know I'm wrong for that. But yeah,
so it's in the world of Three Houses, right? But different characters.
I think so. Yeah, I felt like I got some maybe this is like a continuation of Three Houses vibes or something.
Well, the narrator said I think it was like the same world, like it's on the same like planet, so to speak, but like it's different characters. So
interesting. Okay,
I thought it was the same characters. That's what I took from
I could be wrong because I
maybe there's returning characters and new characters.
Sure.
Sure. That's interesting. Like we're kind of going down this Muso rabbit hole with like The Legend of Zelda came out, and it's like, hey, we're gonna do a prequel or whatever. Persona Strikers was a sequel to Persona 5.
Yeah.
So it's like I think Muso games are getting a little more conceptual, like in the way that they're trying to like sequelize these games. Or at least add more to these worlds. And yeah, exactly, Jeff. I think it's super cool. I think it's a really good move for that studio because like Muso games, like they're fun, but they're the same game every time. So like to add in these like because it looks like there's a lot of mechanics coming from Fire Emblem coming into this game, just from like the brief stuff that we saw. Much like Persona Strikers added a lot of things in as well, and Zelda. Like these all felt like games that were mechanically. There were mechanical echoes from these games that weren't just like Muso mechanics. So I'm excited.
I definitely got that from Hyrule Warriors that I played and Persona Strikers. I got that. Yeah, I got that. Yeah. That's cool, man. I'm actually gonna play this one. I think. So yeah, next on the list was Advance Wars 1. I don't know how to say this. 1+2.
Just say 1 plus 2, 1 and 2.
But you can't call it 3.
Reboot
Camp. It's a remaster of Advance Wars 1 and 2. Full voice acting added to this. It's going to come out on April 8th. You guys are more versed in this game, the originals, right?
Tim is a big fan. I never played. I don't think I played the second one, but I definitely remember playing the first one. I don't know about you, Kyle.
I played both, but I played the first one more for sure.
Okay.
I'm too dumb for this game.
They added some stuff. Well, it's straightforward. It's like any strategy game. It starts off fairly simple.
It's literally
and they just
Fire
keep adding
Emblem,
layers.
But it's army people instead of fantasy people. Like it's the same exact thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely too dumb. Too dumb and impatient for that.
I did like the adding that you can make your own maps and stuff. I don't think they had that in the original, so that was kind of cool.
I think they did in 2, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like there was, but I bet it's way more robust this time. If I had to guess,
multiplayer.
I'll keep my eye on it as somebody who's obviously not experienced at all in that.
Well, you can restart your turns too, Jeff. So if you die, like a lot of these games are all about like permadeath, which maybe these games still have. But like if you want to like rewind back like one turn, I think that they added that mechanic as well. So
okay,
I appreciate that.
I like that. Like the new age of gaming is like childifying old games because like I'm a giant. Pretender. Like I'm not good at video games. I love it when games get easier. So thank you.
We'll talk about it a little bit, but the triangle. Well, we'll
strategy.
Get to it. Yeah. We'll talk about it in a little bit. No Man's Sky is the game that never quits. Is coming out finally to Switch in the summer.
I don't know how this is happening. How is this even working?
Is this a cloud game? They can't run Kingdom Hearts, a 12-year-old game, but it can run. No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I don't know how they would. Yeah, it feels massive. It feels like it's going to load for like 15 minutes each playtime. I feel like if it was a cloud version, they would have said it out front because they seem to be proud of that service, even if it doesn't really work 100% great.
Yeah.
But anyway, Mario Strikers Battle League was announced. 5-on-5 soccer to 8 players at once, 20 team clubs / leagues. Who knows? You put question mark. June 10th. This is summer release.
It's gonna be there's gonna be like upgrades and everything. Like you could put on different kinds of like armor pieces and stuff. Like it looks outrageous. And hopefully it's fun because I know that golf one didn't really work out too well. So
I know it reviewed somewhat modestly well, and it was a good party game for some people, but I couldn't get into it. I really tried, and I'm actually a fan of golf games when they're good. It's just even the standard ones that don't have the cartoony stuff in it. If it's good, like Wii Sports, I was all about the golf, and that's like not even close to real golf. Like,
speaking of,
speaking of that, right? Splatoon 3 gameplay footage, blah 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 blah, comes out in the summer.
You guys hate Splatoon, huh? Jesus.
It's not that I hate Splatoon.
I adequately covered it.
I just think it's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's cool that at least Nintendo finally kind of added a completely unique original IP to their roster after however long.
Sure, and then they redid it 2 more times afterwards. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
I mean, it's popular, so clearly
it is. Yeah, I feel the same way about this that I do about Fortnite. Like, I just don't get it. Sure. People like it, so just leave it alone. Like, yeah, let people enjoy it. Like, but. Yeah, if someone were to be like, "Hey, we're having a Splatoon night," I'd be like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay home and do literally anything else."
I think I'm gonna actually paint instead
I'll mow
of
the lawn.
Yeah,
and I hate that. I hate mowing the lawn. I'll do that.
You could play Lawnmower Simulator.
I'm gonna shovel snow tomorrow instead of play Splatoon.
Oh,
so.
Jesus.
I already did that yesterday. Yeah, I'd rather do it again, even if there's no snow.
I'm gonna put the snow back where I put it, like lifted it up. I'm gonna re-shovel it.
Honestly, you're giving me anxiety right now. Like, I just can't stand shoveling snow. I hate it so much.
You're like,
yeah, you would know about it.
Pail of water in Red
It's the
Dead
worst
2,
thing in the
just
world.
constantly walking back and forth with a pail of water in Red Dead 2. You're just creating tasks for yourself. So Front Mission First is announced. Full remake of the original game comes out in the summer. Front Mission later. Games. What types of games are these? Again,
strategy
I'm
games.
a horrible
strategy.
Yeah. This is the strategy direct. Like, every one of these games are almost strategy games. Yeah.
A lot of
every
them,
other strategy. Yeah.
We're gonna be doing a lot of thinking and waiting and strategizing.
Yeah. If you thought turn-based strategy or turn-based games were slow, wait till you play a strategy turn-based game. So.
I liked the look of it though. It kind of looked almost like little toys, right? It kind of looked like little action figures. Like the sort of, I don't know, the style of it was kind of unique.
It did do something new to the art style, because like it used to just kind of for the time be kind of like the photorealistic type that they were trying to do.
But it was also PlayStation 1, so it didn't look super great.
Yes, yeah.
Oh yeah, this was the PS1. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, there was another PS1 remake.
There was a PS2 Front Mission too, but I think that was like the third one in the series, maybe, or.
Yeah, I think so. Because then I think there was eventually a Front Mission Evolved, which I think was on the PS3 360, and that one was more like an action game instead of a strategy game.
On or something, like one of those. Like...
Well, what were those Armored Core? Remember Armored Core?
It was kind of more. Yeah, Armored Core, Virtual On, like they're all kind of the same.
Okay. Yeah. So that one was more like that. So it left the strategy roots, but yeah. So yeah, that looks cool. I think it looks cool. And they said, oh, the second one also in the future coming. So
it's coming at some point. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
This is a new one too, I think, right? Disney Speedstorm, which is just a kind of like it's a kart racing game with your most famous Disney and Pixar characters you can imagine.
Oh,
basically.
Tim put free to play. Is it free to play?
Free to play in the summer, yeah.
I don't remember them actually specifying that in the direct. It looked generic as hell.
Yeah.
Like the carts didn't look unique. I mean, you got these Disney characters, at least make their carts look unique, right? I mean, but I don't know. It's free to play.
Is Ripley going to be in it from Aliens? Because technically she's a Disney character now.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Anyway.
and Homer Simpson's going to be in there.
Yeah. I assume so.
Yeah, Homer's.
Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. It doesn't look like they did anything to visually upgrade it, but it is coming out April 20th to Switch. Congrats to that game for living on. I wish they just got some guts and remade it, but whatever.
Nothing from Kyle? I mean, Star Wars? No, nothing.
I mean, they didn't really do anything to it, so.
I don't care about Star Wars, guys. I don't know where y'all get that impression from.
Okay. Star Trek. Star Trek.
Yes, I mean, Force Unleashed is fine. I enjoy that game fine. It's not canon. Who cares? Right, guys? Am I right, guys? New canon all the way, right, guys?
New canon all the way, especially Disney is real Star Wars.
All the Disney, all the time. No. I like Force Unleashed. I think the second one's cooler. I think they really honed. I think they really honed the combat system into. The story is like how the rebellion got started, which Star Wars Rebels kind of retells the story, but without some amazing Force user, or maybe they traded that Force user in for Ahsoka. I don't really know, but
Sure.
It's a good story. Yeah, if you want throwback EU, which at the time when this is being made, even George Lucas was like, this game is canon, which he never even said about the books of the EU. So
sure.
So if you want kind of old canon and kind of George Lucas approved Star Wars content, and if you've never somehow played this game, yeah, sure, play it on the Switch. It'll be fun to play that on the go at least. I think someone brought up boy, that game really looks bad now, and I'm like, yeah. In my head, it looked a lot better, but
true.
Actually seeing it, it's like,
I remember being blown away on at least on the Force Unleashed 2, when I had my first playtime in that.
He pulls the
Yeah.
he pulls the Star Destroyer down out of the sky,
But it takes 10 minutes.
this is the coolest looking thing ever, and it's like I'm looking at these graphics, I'm like, ugh.
I'm wondering if this is actually the Switch version because they mentioned the part about motion controls. So I'm wondering if it's not like the actual like better versions, like the better looking ones from the 360 and PS3.
Was this game on the Switch like originally, or
I think
Wii?
it
or
was.
I'm sorry, or the Wii or whatever, or
The Wii. I think it was. So I'm wondering if that's what it is. I'm wondering if it's if it's the actual Wii version, and that's why it looks kind of muddy. Because I don't remember it looking that bad.
I really don't either. But man, when I go back to old games, I always go,
absolutely.
boy, this doesn't this doesn't look like
Absolutely.
how I remember it in my head, you know?
Yeah. But I think it is perhaps the Wii version.
Yeah,
So.
I don't know. I play it if y'all have never played it. It's a fun. Like you don't get a lot of really cool lightsaber games, and this is definitely one of them. You're throwing people around everywhere. You're slicing them up. You're a bad guy, which you never get to be. You know.
Yeah.
You become more of an anti-hero, I guess. But it's a good time. It's a good time.
Cool. All right. Well, Assassin's Creed, the Ezio collection, I assume this is 1 through 3, comes out in like a week, in February 17th.
It's Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and what's the other one with Ezio?
Yeah, the third one.
Brotherhood, and then the other one. But it's two Brotherhood, and then Revelations. There we go.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
So it's the Ezio trilogy. It's his
which is most people's favorite, right? Like
yes. Yeah. Definitely.
So I'm super uneducated on Assassin's Creed, obviously. So different character for the 1 through 3, like that trilogy is not really like a trilogy in the lineage.
The first
the
first Assassin's Creed was Altair, and then they introduced Ezio in the second one, and then the second one did so well.
I remember Ezio, yeah.
Yeah, he was so popular and it did so well that they made Brotherhood, which was also Ezio, and then Revelations, which is also.
And these were like quote unquote expansion packs, but they were really full games. Like
they were
like 15 to 20-hour experiences. They were very long. Yeah.
Impressive. All right, cool. SD Gundam Battle Alliance comes out later this year. This looks cool.
Yes.
I'm actually I'm an anime hater, obviously.
I thought you were the expert. I'm really confused.
I don't hate I was dropping the bit for a second, but I don't hate this stuff. So
and Dan, earmuffs. I think SD is the dumbest version of Gundam personally.
But this is a little model. I made a little model.
I know, and it looks like Wing Gundam, and I love that. So congratulations on having it from Endless Waltz. Yes, I'm an anime cuck. But like SD Gundam is the chibi big head like version of Gundam, and it's like it's the kiddie dumb version and not like the gritty political thriller that like Gundam actually is. Yes, Gundam is a political thriller. It just has big robots. Sorry, guys. It's just the way it is.
Who doesn't like that? I mean,
Wing is like 90% politics.
True Americans.
Like, yeah.
True. God damn it,
back
Jeff.
and watch it.
Yeah, you mean
anyways,
with all the we were watching Toonami back in the day? Like, come on.
Yeah. But even SD aside, watching the trailer, I was like, I'll play this. It looked really cool. So.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it. I was like, oh yeah, I'll play that. All right, finally, the one that Dan's kind of been clamoring for, Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers Edition, remastered and improved version of the original. Visuals do look better, but generally everything else around is the same. But April 7th release date.
I was
Are
on
they remastering the music too?
Well, they said they'd like whatever kind of like what they did with Final Fantasy X. I think the kind of maybe like an alternate version. We'll see how that works out. I don't know if it's gonna.
I actually really like the updated music in Final Fantasy X. I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying I liked it. Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. The music of Chrono Cross is pretty excellent.
Yeah. So was 10. So when people started changing, like when they started changing like themes that people really love, people really revolted. So like I can see that happening here too. I hope they stick with it. I remember really liking the music in Chrono Cross as well. So
this is I mean there was that leak. What was it? The NVIDIA leak, I think, where they listed a bunch of games and Chrono Cross was on that list. So everyone thought, oh well, this is not real, and I just kept believing. And then they released that mobile game. There was like a crossover with the mobile game. I forget what it's called. It's like Radiance something or whatever. And so then that was announced, and everyone's like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me! Is that actually what the announcement is?" Nope. Here it is. It's coming out April 4th?
April 7th.
April 7th. There we go. Thank you. So I'm crazy excited because it's not Chrono Trigger, but it's still an excellent JRPG. If you've never played it, like please play that game. If you love JRPGs or like them at all, like. Yeah, it's excellent.
I've heard too many good things about this game to not try it, at least.
It's no Xenogears, but it's great. No, I'm kidding. I really like Xenogears, but yeah, Chrono Cross is one of the greatest PS1 like RPGs. I don't know, maybe ever. So.
If you like the so with like what is it, Suikoden, how you can recruit characters. there's a similar thing in Chrono Cross where you recruit characters as well. So basically, you end up, I think it's like around 40 characters. It's like a lot of characters, and you might actually miss some. So you actually have to like kind of go through the story and make sure you're sort of going to areas and talking to people in certain ways, or you might miss them completely. So that sort of stuff. And I think I remember that being super into that. So
interesting.
Yes.
So one of the bigger, would you call it AAA or whatever? One of the bigger titles that Nintendo's dropping in this first quarter, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, coming out March 25th. Oh, yeah. They showed a lot more footage here and showed some more details. I'm actually pretty excited for this game. I mean, I'm not like over the moon excited for it, but like I'm pretty excited.
Dude,
for this game.
Kirby car? I mean,
ridiculous.
Kirby vending machine? Like what? Like what's happening?
I don't know. If you guys tell me guys tell me it's the greatest thing ever, I'll get it. But like,
it's not gonna be the greatest thing ever.
I'm at peak levels of don't give a shit about this project. So,
dude, come on.
I don't hate Kirby. Kirby Crystal Shards on N64 is like perfect. Like it's one of my favorite N64 games. I think it's so amazing. But like, I don't know. I don't know what
this is like Kirby Odyssey. Like
maybe you get back to me and let me know that's what it is. And
I will let you know.
That's what it looks like.
I'll buy it.
I will let you know, Kyle.
Yeah. If this is my first impression. I'm not saying this is factual. Oh, it's dumb, but like if y'all come back and be like, yeah, this is like the best. This is a great Kirby experience. I'm totally gonna buy it. But like, I need some hands-on time with it from you guys who I trust the opinions of. And
yeah, I can. I think I could honestly say now it's probably going to be the best Kirby game because I mean Kirby just doesn't have a ton of like excellent games.
Yeah, what else is there? Yeah.
I mean, there's
I'm sure they said the same thing about Kirby Air Ride too, and here we are.
Well, so. I mean, they didn't, but they didn't. They did not, but fair enough. I'll let you know.
I like the Kirby Yarn, right? There was a Yarn Kirby.
Yeah,
game.
Epic Yarn. That one was cute. That one wasn't too bad.
It
was cute.
Cute.
I'll let you know, Kyle.
MLB The Show is coming, or is it already on the Switch? I have no idea. Cross-play and cross-saves, guys, on MLB The Show, if you like that kind of boring crap and staring at the
I think that's super cool.
I will say that's super cool that it's cross-play and cross-saves and all that stuff. I think that's super awesome. If you are playing a Major League Baseball game that's all about graphics on the Switch, you might want to just buy a real console and play it for real,
But again, the cross-play or cross-saves is that's how you do it, right? Like you make the sports games for everything, and then if you were on the go, you have a Switch.
I love that portion of it. So it's like, hey, I'm on the bus, during my morning commute. I'm on, I'm on break at work or something like that. That's super cool. All day I'm here for that idea of the Switch kind of filling in that kind of like hybrid model. So
yeah,
I'm here for that.
Yeah.
All right, way to turn it into a positive thing, guys. Good job. Kingdom Hearts games are still cloud versions, and they're
I like how they re-announced that, and they're like, and it's out today because we know no one cares.
Yeah. They're like, guys, please be excited. It's cloud versions. Come on, please. Yeah.
I don't know. Again, guys, you can play these games elsewhere, and they look so good there. So
and you're not going to need internet connection.
And guess what? You and you can't use the MLB excuse for this game. You can't play this game on the go. Like that's not, unless you're ad hocking with your phone or something. Like. Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
It's so absurd. It's so absurd.
Yeah, I'm mad about it. Yeah.
Next announcement is Klonoa. Yep. Fantasy Reverie series. Looks like it's both Klonoa games. It comes out July 8th. I didn't play these, but this does look like something I would play.
Literally have never heard of these before.
I'm familiar with them, but I have only played the first.
What were they on?
On PlayStation.
Like
I believe for the first one and the second one, or maybe the second one was on PS2. I'm pretty sure the first one's on the PS1. I have only experienced it on my mini PlayStation, the one that's kind of like the equivalent to the Super Nintendo Mini. It's a unique platformer. It's not anything crazy special.
Yeah, I forgot they put out those PS1 minis or whatever. Yeah.
But it has a cult following. I know Klonoa has a cult following. So
yeah, there were at least a couple people that I saw on my feeds that were like Klonoa, and I'm like, nobody knows what that is. But it does look like something I would play and enjoy, actually. So that does come out July 8th. Portal Companion Collection comes out later this year. I assume it's the first two games, and
that's pretty cool.
Fun. That is pretty rad.
That was another game when I was looking at it. I was like, boy, this game looks really bad. Just like because it's old and it's on the Switch, But like, you guys, it's Portal. Not my cup of tea. But if y'all have never played this game, like, it's a must.
Yeah.
It's weird that you'd be playing it on the Switch for the first time, but in
Yeah.
general, it's a must to play.
If your first experience of that game is not on PC, I feel a little bad for you, but that's life. Live Alive, I was actually pretty intrigued by this game. Never released inside Japan until now. Coming to Switch July 22nd.
Yes.
Tim had compared it to Octopath in terms of visuals. I guess I kind of see that.
Yeah, there's some similarities.
But it looks unique with like collection of main characters from different timelines and stuff.
There's like a cowboy, a ninja, like cyberpunk guy. Like it's
martial artists. Cool. Like there's
martial artists. Yep.
There's all sorts of like different time periods and timelines and different
genres,
the different characters. Yeah. That looks super.
I'm intrigued.
I'm all in on this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Super.
When does this come out?
July 22nd.
That's my birthday.
Oh.
Not anymore.
Oh, snap.
Your birthday is now July 32nd.
Oh,
moved it.
Great.
I hope you're alive.
I'll keep on waiting for that, Jeff. I'll keep on waiting for it.
I hope you're alive, Kyle, to play that game.
Yeah, I probably won't be.
I'm really upset it's not Live Alive because that title sounds awesome. But okay, that's fine. Live Alive, whatever. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Very Japanese.
It's not Live Alive?
It makes sense to be Live Alive, right?
Live. Well, the second Live, if you look at the logo, the second Live is actually backwards, so it's evil. So it's it's sort of like a what's the word where it's like a mirror thing?
Palindrome?
Yes, thank you. So there's obviously something there.
Tenet. Here we go.
There we go. Nolan's behind this game. Video games.
Tears are Nolan's behind this game. Yeah.
Get
ready to watch YouTube videos because you're not gonna understand it. I promise.
It's all backwards. All right, Nintendo Switch Sports, man. This was for me one of the most exciting things that they announced. I know that obviously more educated gamers are gonna flip out over Klonoa of all things, but
I hope not.
But
I hope that's not
I've been
true.
waiting for a Wii Sports follow-up. I mean, much like everybody else has for ages, and I was so addicted to that game. Most of the world was. And all families of all ages were. Yeah. I just can't wait to play this again with a family, dude. Like with a family, a strange family.
I'm gonna hire one off of Craigslist and
start knocking on doors. Like, hey,
you know what? I'm gonna unbury my grandmother, and we're gonna play this game together.
Wow, that got dark.
But Nintendo Switch Sports, guys, got another collection of mini games. They didn't really change the formula much for Wii Sports. Upgraded visuals and avatars, not your stupid little Miis, but it comes out April 29th. I think there are going to be more games. I mean, you're going to have your traditional bowling and your tennis and stuff, but there was one combat-oriented one where you're kind of knocking somebody off.
Wasn't that in the original too? Like, I thought the sword fighting one was in the original.
Yeah,
I guess I never played that.
Yeah, it was like up on a platform, you're knocking them off.
Yeah, you knock them off. Yeah. Thank you.
I remember, I vividly remember visiting my brother when he was stationed in Maryland. And we spent the entire week just playing Wii Sports, and all we did was golf and
I love the bowling.
Bowling. It was all just golf and bowling. And my mom would do this oh my god, dude, my mom doing Wii Sports bowling would do the whole bowling thing that she would do normally when she's bowling, which is she would do at least 15 steps before she throws the ball. And I'm like, it's not going to detect you if you get that close to the TV. Would you stop?
The me drops the ball and it does
stop messing up for ritual.
It just goes like this.
It's like, please stand back from the TV before your Wii remote goes through the TV. Like,
yeah, right, yeah.
But that was just that's a memory, that's a permanent memory. Sure. What do you call it? There's a word for it. Whatever. TikTok has a word. Prime memory. There you go.
TikTok.
But we're bearing the lead here a little bit, guys. There's a soccer game, and the game comes with a leg strap that you can put your Wii remote on, and you can kick. You can actually kick the ball.
It's like the free kicks.
And they're with our amazing gyroscopic. I'm like, there's no way this thing reads kicks.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, Nintendo, I love you. There's no way that this works.
Hold on. So my wife and I have played the what's the exercising one? I can't not remembering the name right now.
I don't know.
The ring fit thing.
Ring fit. Yeah. Okay,
the ring fit, and you have the leg strap for certain parts, like when you're kind of you're running in place. Actually, when you're doing the story mode, it's pretty accurate. There's a couple of exercises where it's a little finicky, but otherwise it's actually pretty accurate.
That's interesting here.
It's not like one for one. Like there's definitely a little bit of small margin of error, but yeah.
When people talk about movement accuracy, I always think of the the glorious Skyward Sword presentation at E3 with Shigeru Miyamoto, and he's like, none of this is working, and I'm like, we know, we're watching it live, like we know that, yeah, we can see it not working in live time, and I remember watching this going like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna play this game, and I played it late, and that's one of the only Zelda games I never beat because I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Sorry.
Tim didn't put in there, but there's gonna be like a like a beta or whatever it is, like the server test or whatever. I think it's February 18th through the 20th. I could have the dates wrong.
Yeah, because they are featuring online heavily in this.
Yeah, so I think it's like a server stress test sort of thing. So
okay. All right, the next one is Taiko no Tatsujin or something. I don't know. Rhythm Festival.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I assume it's a rhythm game.
It's a Taiko drum game, yeah.
Oh,
there's one on Game Pass. There's one on Game Pass actually. It just came out.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. It's on Game Pass right now. Yeah.
All right, well, Triangle Strategy, guys. The demo was released the day of the Direct, a little bit later. But yeah, the first 3 chapters you can play right through that, and then it carries your progress over to the main game whenever you buy it, if you are inclined to buy it.
Super cool.
But they revealed some more story details and stuff. Whatever, that doesn't matter. We've been playing the demo, or I have at least. I don't know if you guys have diddled.
I downloaded it. I really wish I got to. It's one of the few things I didn't.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to it either. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'll just talk about it now. I mean, I'm not normally well versed in these types of games. You guys know I'm not very patient when it comes to like, all right, where do I want to move my guy? I want to attack.
Wait, is this a grid-based movement?
What direction do I need him to face when he's finished with his turn? Like,
do I have to guard? Do you want me to guard? Or do you want me to attack? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay, if I leave you here, you're gonna get attacked from both sides, and that's bad.
You're overthinking it. Just rush him. Zerg rush him and kill him, man.
Yes,
that's my strategy every time. Like,
so I did one battle because one battle takes like half an hour. So I still did it though, but like the story is actually, the setup is very,
it's intriguing, right?
I heard it was like Game of Thrones, like it's a lot of like political, like different families and factions fighting against each other, and
it starts with you. I mean, you're going to be playing multiple people, but with the prince of a family or whatever, he's going to marry some girl from a different house in a different country, and they're going to unify their houses and to better improve their relationship across country so they can share resources and stuff. That's how it kind of starts. And I didn't get very far into it because, again, normally these games I tend to just not play. But I did like the graphics of it, the pacing of the story so far. Like, I'm not sitting here rolling my eyes through some of this stuff because I do get impatient with these games.
Did you play Octopath Traveler, or did you?
I did.
Okay.
And I did want to because I know it's like 8 characters. Like, that's the whole point of the title, right? It's 8 characters that you're playing as.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I feel like these games are pretty long too, and normally I'm not on board for all those types of stuff. But I mean, I'm gonna keep an eye on how reviews are, because right now I'm like, I don't know if I can justify laying down $60 however many dollars it's gonna be.
Hey, you could play the demo for however long.
I'm surprised that I'm not hating it. Let's just say that.
All right.
I would see through the first 3 chapters, honestly. I would. If it just if I had time outside of watching stupid, dumb Hulu shows that I'm watching right now.
And video game movies?
No, there's this show, Kat Dennings is on it. It's just a really funny show. But it's clearly like a show about girls that are friends. And you're like, I'm like, Jeff, why are you watching this? Shut up, it's good.
I really relate to it, okay?
It's like when my brother would catch me watching Bring It On and go, what are you watching?
Everybody has those shows or those movies, right? I mean,
right.
Like my wife has One Tree Hill, and it's like I've watched One Tree Hill front to back with my wife, and it's like it's dumb, but like there is kind of something there. I don't know why, but
for me when I was younger, it was Dawson's Creek because that was still on, and I remember both my brother and sister ganging up on me, and I'm like, guys, the dialogue's actually really good, and like I was just so defensive.
You don't want to catch yourself saying that,
The dialogue, the writing. Is
shit!
So
I'm defending Dawson's Creek. Damn it!
And they walk in when Dawson has his cry face on, and then I got to turn it off.
Yep.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I'll stick with it. So yeah, DLC for Cuphead is coming in June. Did this already come out on other consoles? Or
I don't think
so.
No.
This game's too hard.
New?
I don't know.
This game's too hard.
It is way too hard, but every time I see gameplay of it or partake in it, I'm still blown away.
It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite things visually and like auditorially. So like when they're like, we're doing a TV show, I go perfect.
I can actually partake in that. That's great.
It's easier actually by yourself because my wife and I played a good portion of it together, and she definitely struggled with it because she's just not like, she doesn't play games like that the way I play games.
Well, I was gonna say, Dan, you're kind of our resident like MLG gamer too.
Sure,
so like,
sure.
Yeah,
somebody has to be. So I mean,
Yeah.
But but I did.
Like he's beaten all these hard games. We can hate on it all we want, but that's
dude. I can't wait. I can't. No, but just because then other things came out. But then, so basically, after a while, I jumped back in and I was like, let me see what the difficulty is like by myself. And it was like way easier compared to two people. So the difficulty scale is like super high when you're playing.
And nothing changes. So that game is about memorization. So if you're an old like Mega Man guy, like you're gonna float into the difficulty of that game pretty quickly.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So
it's
definitely
beautiful.
fun.
It still takes my breath away to watch the.
It's Steamboat Willie. It's Steamboat Willie vibes for days, and I will never get over it. Yeah.
So they did release a Metroid Dread update the day of the.
Speaking
of easy modes.
They added a rookie mode, which increases recovery and ammo. I assume that drops when either you find loot or an enemy dies or something or whatever. I didn't play enough of it. But they did add a dread mode for people that hate themselves, where it's one hit and you're done, no matter what.
Yes.
And April update is going to have a boss rush, where it's like you fight the same boss over and over again, or whatever.
Which that's that's the big thing about this game. The boss fights are like really epic.
Are insane. So, can we just call the rookie mode the Jesse White mode, or can we just call it
the Jeff Widman mode too? I don't know. Might as well add my name in there.
I know. The second they announced this, I go, guess who's jumping back into Metroid?
Same here.
Hey, I'll let you guys know. Normal difficulty. It's the final boss is insane. So, I hope you guys finish. I hope you guys finish it because it's super cool.
For Rookie mode,
I love Metroid. I don't know what about this game.
It's not really like making anything. It's not making the combat less hard. So I feel like.
Yeah, I know. It's not making the exploration any easier because like you have to. Know where invisible like vents are and stuff like that. Whatever.
You just YouTube. Just YouTube it. It's fine. Just YouTube it.
I feel like such a casual man. I really like these types of games. And, like the invisible walls are like all about like Castlevania. Like these exist in every game, but there is something about the DNA of this game that I'm like, why can I not read the matrix coding of this game to like understand it?
It happened to me. It happened to me 2 times. I legitimately got stuck. Had to look it up. So
look it up. Hey man, we're big looker uppers here on
happens to the worst. Happens the best and worst of us, I guess. Or whatever the expression is. But anyway, Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings, being ported to the NES and SNES.
Mother is one of the greatest series ever that just won't, for whatever reason, get picked back up. I'll never understand it.
Yeah, Mother 3 is apparently just never coming out here ever. So
we'll never get that. Hey Dan, did you ever want to play that? You don't get to. So, emulate it on the internet, bud.
Thanks, Reggie Fils-Aimé. Right?
Yeah, thanks, Reggie. Yeah, you left and didn't put this game out before your tenure was up or whatever.
Right.
I love the series. I never played Is this a prequel, like beginning? I've never played that one.
I think that was the first one then, right?
What?
What's that?
It was a NES title. I'm assuming.
That's the one on Super Nintendo.
Oh,
well, originally
the graphics look shittier. So
really.
Yeah,
because I did start up both of them. I didn't play them, but I was just like, what are these? And Earthbound was the one on SNES. Earthbound was the one on NES, and then Earthbound Beginnings was the one on SNES.
I believe you. Yeah, I believe. Maybe I have it backwards in my head. You've played them. Maybe I had like the way that they were.
Or maybe I launched them in the opposite order. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. Who's to say who's right?
I was gonna say Earthbound, just regular Earthbound. I'm pretty sure it's Super Nintendo.
I thought so too. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna fact check this live, folks.
Fact check it.
Live fact check, everybody. All right.
Never mind Jeff's hands-on impressions of it.
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, Jeff.
I thought it was Super Nintendo too. Yeah, maybe they were both Super Nintendo.
You're welcome, guys.
Hold on, let me look up Beginnings now. Let me look up because I
just wanted to test.
I don't know what Beginnings is. I've never heard of this game. I think I played Mother 1 and 2, but I've never played a game called Beginnings. So
Beginning is finally released. Hold on.
Did it never come out here? Maybe Beginnings.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see because I'm not familiar with Earthbound.
While you're
Beginnings
looking
at
that up, the cool thing about Earthbound is that like you are literally just kids in the real world, and like your weapons are like lids from a trash can and baseball bats and stuff like that. Like it's very cute, but like by the end of the game, you're fighting and defeating God. So it's like
sweet.
The journey of that game is very, very, very cool. I like Earthbound a lot.
On June 14th, 2015, 25 years after being released in Japan, Earthbound Beginnings was released in North America and Europe for the first time on the Wii U Virtual Console. So it says Famicom here. So yeah, it basically only came out in Japan.
On the Nintendo, not even the Super Nintendo.
Right, on the original. That's why it looked that way. I was like, that looks like
an
original
I was gonna say, I thought
game.
Beginning looked worse to me, but maybe I don't know.
So yeah, it was released 25 years later on the Wii U.
Why does Japan hate us, guys? I don't understand.
It's because of you,
Jeff. They changed the name of Final Fantasy because they're like, you casual Americans can't handle Final Fantasy 3, or whatever.
Oh no, you mean Dragon Warrior?
No, was it Final Fantasy 3 actually 6 here in America?
Well, sure, but I thought,
and 3 didn't come out because 3 was like supposedly too hard for us. I thought that was like the narrative.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were because they changed because in Japan, Dragon Quest here is Dragon Warrior in Japan.
Yes.
So I thought that's what you were referencing.
No,
my bad.
No, you're fine. Anyway. By the way, my favorite little tidbit about Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest is that those games are not allowed to release during weekdays because when Dragon Quest 7 or 8 came out.
Yeah.
Everybody called off for work. It was 8. Everybody in the whole country called off for work, and it literally dropped.
Wow.
What the yen, it killed their economy. Like it dropped what the yen was.
That is so.
I'm not even kidding. Like this is literally real or whatever.
Yeah.
So legally, and that's the only game this has a rule for. That game is not allowed to release during the week. It has to release on a Saturday or Sunday in Japan.
Yeah, it's huge there.
Dragon Quest or Warrior there is like the biggest franchise in the entire world there.
Yeah.
And like I get it. It's like low on the list of like RPG series for me, but like I get it. It's Akira Toriyama. It's super cool. The series is great. So
yeah.
It's great.
It's great. Not breaking the economy. Great.
They did a scissor reel full of many titles. Next, Zombie Army 4 Dead War, April 26th. It's already come out on other consoles and PC and stuff. GetsuFumaDen.
That was good.
Pick one more pass at it.
No, that was good.
That was good.
GetsuFumaDen.
Anyway, Undying Moon came out the day of the Direct. I got some hands on it.
I got some hands on it, yeah.
I got some hands on it.
Hold on, I can't allow this. Demon Slayer :
Demon Slayer. I don't know if it's a fighting game that came out last year.
Title.
Yeah, Demon Slayer. It didn't do well on the other consoles, so we're gonna put it on Twitch too.
So it's the same title. It is the same one.
Hold on, it is Kimetsu no Yaiba.
You did it, nailed it. Good job.
Hinokami Chronicles. There we go.
Dan's seen an anime.
What is the Chronicles one? Okay. Yeah, so that's coming out on June 10th to the Switch. Lego Brawls. That was hard to say for some reason. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. Comes out in June. 2 Point Campus. Tim and I are probably the only ones that are going to play this. Comes out on May 17th. It just makes more sense to play on PC because it's one of those sim type games where you
clicking around. Yeah,
you need your keyboard and mouse for it. But it's cool that it's coming out on Switch. So yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They are doubling down on the existing Mario Kart.
There was a rumor this was Mario Kart 9. Remember all those rumors?
We're
announcing Mario Kart 9, yada yada. Guys, I gotta be honest. Maybe it's controversial. This is the better move. Release 48 tracks that are new for $25. Like
insane.
I don't know. I feel like this is like I would rather spend $25 than 60, right? Like, and you don't need to change the mechanics, right? Like.
Yeah, it already. So. How much better can you really make it?
Well,
graphically speaking, or I mean.
Well, they're gonna have to just add like completely new types of like modes and things because at this point it's like this game is just going on for so long that there's so much stuff and tracks and everything that it's like it's worth it. Well, it's still $60, right? If you go to buy Mario Kart Deluxe 8 Deluxe.
Well, yeah, it's a Nintendo game. I think.
Yeah, so it's just there's a lot of and then you buy the extra stuff. So I mean, it ends up being like probably close.
Sure, but like who at this point doesn't own? And I say that knowing that it's on the top 20 NPDs like every month. I just know that. Just know that. But like at this point, most people own.
It's a good
game,
value.
So like to people who have been playing this game since 2014 or whenever the original one came out, like to be able to play 48 more tracks, especially a lot of like remasters of like classic tracks, and we get some new ones. It's pretty cool. I'm super into this idea.
I'm excited about the remastered tracks from like N64, SNES days.
Same.
Especially because SNES was like all about just flat tracks. Because it couldn't really do much else. But I still had tons of fun with those. But yeah, this is the plan from like there's 6 planned waves, 48 courses they're going to roll out, and it's going to go till like the end of 2023.
Insane.
And yeah, it is pretty nuts. But I mean, I if it ain't broke, literally, if it ain't broke, fix it, I guess.
It's a great game, man.
Yeah, I agree. So they closed with Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Dude. I cannot talk, bro. Cinematic trailer coming out in September. What a reveal. For those that are fans of the franchise. What a reveal.
What was that? What was that, Jeff? What was that?
Yeah, I got to be honest. Chronicles 2 was on Switch, right?
Yes.
Hated that game.
Really?
Love the first one. I hated it so much. Yeah, because like there was many parts in 2 where I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now or where to go or whatever.
Okay.
It was almost too big. I think 3 is gonna probably maybe streamline some of these mechanics. 1's amazing, and what was the other one that was like? I forget. It was on the Wii.
Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yes, X. Thank you. Yeah, that's my favorite of all of them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I know people like Chronicles like a lot. 2, I think some people like, but like I really think they're gonna hit like a really cool stride with this game.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan with it. Just because I didn't like 2 doesn't mean I'm like poo-pooing this game.
It's supposed to like bridge it together, right? The story of the first and second one. This is supposed to kind of be a culmination or something.
Oh, I don't know, but
the narrator was saying something like that. Like, yeah.
Was contained something like that?
Yeah, because you could see like the kind of massive figures in the background, which was like a big thing with the first Xenoblade.
Yeah,
the 2 giant. That's actually
living on the. You're living on the that's the world, right? Yeah, you're living on the Titans or whatever.
Yeah. So
I like the first one a lot. I put like I never beat it. I put like 40 to 50 hours into that game.
Same.
I think it's outstanding. When people talk about it like it's one of the greatest modern day JRPGs, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna fight you about that. I think you're right, even though I haven't beaten it. I just
yeah, it's really good.
I don't know. Did you like 2, Dan?
It was go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you like 2, Dan? Did you like Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
I actually didn't really play 2. I had 2, and I like remember booting it up and maybe playing for like an hour. And then it was just at a time when there was just so much to play that I just never got around to it. And I traded it in because I was like, well, this is still worth a lot. And I want to buy this game instead.
Yeah, Monolith games hold their value pretty well.
Yeah.
And I think Tim and Derek really like this game. I hate to speak for them, but I think I remember them really liking this game. And I thought the combat was really good in this game. It's just like, I just remember like the map being really hard to read and like where I'm supposed to go next was really hard to like understand. And like, I have unfortunately been, handheld by too many like open world RPGs where it's like there's like a GPS unit that just tells you where to go next, like where that was removed from this game, and I'm like, I don't know what to do next. Yeah.
It's just so many of these games nowadays. It's like you just have to sit there and like learn that game. You have to learn it. You know?
And I felt like that was a game where it's like either this is your life.
Right.
Or you're gonna play other games, and I'm like, I choose other games. I can't make this my life right now, because I remember that game being like 80 to 90 hours long, and I'm like, no, I don't care about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, well, that's it for the direct.
Yeah, pretty solid, I think.
Very solid.
Yeah. So that's about where you guys rank it. Yeah, it's.
Yeah. No Bayonetta 3. No Metroid Prime 4. So obviously I hated it. So.
Yeah. No Metroid Prime 4, no Bayonetta 3, so obviously it's the biggest trash of the direct
It's the worst thing ever. It's actually, just a travesty. So
I mean, for me, like just finally knowing that Chrono Cross Remaster exists is like just awesome. I think the Kirby game does look pretty excellent. I mean, we'll see. It could end up not being excellent, but
I want to be so wrong. I want to be so wrong about that game. I want everyone to be like, yo, this is like, it's so good. It's so unique and so interesting. And I'll buy it immediately if I hear that.
Yeah. So. I'm excited for Kirby to finally get his chance to have like a Mario, like, open like area, like platforming. I'm kind of hoping
more for like a gritty Last of Us like vibe to Kirby, where he has to murder his best friends and like take on an adopted girl, stuff like that.
Sure. I mean, he does eat everything in front of him, so they're dead.
I like how he doesn't quite eat the whole car or quite eat the whole vending machine. Like, it's very weird to me. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
It's meant to give you nightmares if you're sensitive to those images. All right, so next up we have Microsoft news. We have some Microsoft news, I should say. And Sony had nothing. Come on, guys. Sony, dragging your feet.
We're busy. We're busy building the Game Pass equivalent. You know.
Right, of course.
Busy. Yeah.
They're gonna
Did we even talk about the Sony State of Play like a week ago, or did we skip over that?
I think it was just the Gran Turismo, right?
Gran Turismo.
Yeah, I think it was just Gran Turismo.
Yeah, we discussed it briefly.
Yeah, because
there was nothing to discuss. Yeah, there's it's racing. Yeah.
Hey guys, they're racing and there's like
hey, have you done the track? I don't know if you heard of it, Le Mans. I don't know. We have that in our game. That's in every game.
Kyle,
right now.
you are pissing Fab off right now. So
dude,
hard.
I love Fab. First off, screw you. I love Gran Turismo. I'm buying that day one. I'm so excited for that game.
Oh, good. Somebody that buys games.
To act like Le Mans isn't the most overused track ever. Like, come on, guys, let's get over it.
So Microsoft, in the headlines for Microsoft, Platinum Games is trying to restart discussions with Microsoft about Scalebound.
Yeah.
One of the most heartbreaking cancellations in recent memory.
Yeah.
Especially because it was so far along, and we were like, it's coming out like in a few months, and then suddenly,
and they're like, nah, no, it's not. How do you cancel a game that?
I don't. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
It happens. I mean,
don't give me hope.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say is what Hawkeye said in Endgame is just don't give me hope.
Yeah,
just don't.
I mean, this is just a precursor to Microsoft buying Platinum Games, right?
Hey, Dan, you shut your mouth.
Dude, Platinum Games is like poking the bear.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we're just gonna buy you now. Like, don't.
You guys,
don't
I'm telling you, anything that's not nailed down right now is up for purchase. Like, it's gonna be a purchasing war. Like, in a couple months, like we're gonna hear that PlayStation bought like Capcom, and you better bet that Microsoft's like, cool, we bought Platinum then, and like it's just gonna be this tit for tat thing going forward.
Sure.
Welcome
All right,
to the future, guys.
I mean, I'm not giving up. I'm not, holding out hopes for this, but I mean, that is kind of exciting.
I think Scalebound's super cool, man. I was super excited for that game. I'm a big Drakengard fan. I'm a big fan. If you want to add like flyable dragons and stuff like that in the game, I'm here for it. So
super here for it. So in general news, Google is reportedly quietly deprioritizing and rebranding Stadia. This is the most shocking headline I think we've ever reported on this show.
Can
I be honest? I had no idea they were still doing stuff for Stadia.
Can we pour one out for Google? Can we pour one out for Google?
I don't think they'll be fine. Anybody on Earth needs to pour out anything for Google, to be honest. Seriously, like, have games been coming out for Stadia like consistently? Do we?
I have been getting emails about titles that have been added like every now and then. Yeah.
Okay.
I never use it, but it's just something I signed up for a long time ago.
All right, sure.
But reportedly, they're exploring like new ways to integrate the streaming tech into other areas of its business, whatever that means. Probably to spy on you more. Exactly. So they're shopping the technology to partners under the name Google Stream, which I guess is better sounding than Stadia.
Dude,
if you're Stadia, you're like, what the hell is this? So I don't.
I love when companies just change the name of a thing that's failing or it's bad or whatever. And they're like, just change the name. Then they won't know. Like,
remember when Facebook changed their name and we still call them Facebook?
Yeah.
We're Meta now. Why?
Yeah, no,
you're not.
People trying to like, they're like, hey, get on the Meta Quest right now and check out the new games. I'm like, you mean the Oculus? Like, what are you talking about? Stop this. I'm not
going to do any of that.
Yeah, I'm not calling it anything else other than that.
Right. There was some news that I got particularly excited about is that there was a Hogwarts Legacy art book called The Art and Making of Hogwarts Legacy. It's set to be published by Insight Editions on September 6th, which could allude to the game itself coming out around that time frame.
Sure.
It makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense, which excites the living hell out of me. This is probably, if God of War Ragnarok is actually like going to stick a 2022 release date, I don't think it will. That would be my most anticipated, but right next to it is Hogwarts Legacy, man. I've been wanting an open world RPG, Harry Potter world type game, like since I've read the first book. Like, I mean,
dude,
it's just something you think about, you know?
And I feel like I say this every time, but I'm so bah humbug about Harry Potter. Right. I couldn't be more excited about this.
Oh, yeah.
Game. Like, I'm over the moon about like, oh, you're going to be a wizard and you're going to get to go to school and it's open world. And like, I was reading an article about their biggest influences in the open world and the mechanics that they're trying to take are like Ghost of Tsushima and
oh, wow.
I think Red Dead were the two.
What?
So like what I take from that personally is like maybe there won't be generic waypoints and stuff like that. Like there'll be interesting ways that the world guides you to your next thing, like the birds in Ghost of Tsushima, like the random kind of activities that happen in Red Dead. So like everything, no matter what corridor you turn down in Hogwarts, like you're probably gonna have something to do. And then you start thinking about like the idea
with the
of
rotating
like
staircases.
Well, and yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but sure. Yeah.
Don't you remember that part?
Yeah. I don't know what
the
that means.
staircases rotate.
I don't know what any of that means, but
yeah.
And then all the weird like old guys look at you through portraits. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really voyeur.
Oh man, I'm actually really excited about that.
And like,
but like I hear you attend classes and like you like if you
it's
don't
gonna be
go
like
to
bully
class,
aspect,
you
right?
yeah, that's what I heard too. Like so if you attend a class or if you don't attend a class, you may not know how to make certain potions because you didn't go to class or maybe you didn't learn that spell or whatever. So it's like it sounds like this is literally gonna be the coolest like wizard fantasy ever.
And
So.
I would imagine there's gonna be, and you can easily do it just by being like, oh look, magic spell, a portal. I go through here, and now I'm in Diagon Alley. Like you can just like
for sure.
you can pop up in different locations.
I think they confirmed like there's Diagon Alley and the woods outside of like it's like Bully, like everything starts at the school, but then you get to go to the fairgrounds, and then you get to go to the downtown area, then you get to go to the warehouse district,
Forbidden Forest. Yeah.
I think it's gonna piecemeal itself out open world wise like Bully. I just think that this is going to be kind of a great, and keep in mind, guys, this is Avalanche. This is the guys who make Just Cause, which may be like mechanically a clunky series, but like these are some of the best open worlds like to occupy playgrounds, if you will, ever. And then we talk about like they made Mad Max, like and Mad Max.
Oh my god, dude, that game.
Mad Max is a blender of the greatest open world mechanics ever thrown it. So you have Arkham Asylum's mechanics with like actual racing game mechanics for driving cars. And then you add in the twisted metal element of having combat on the cars, and then the base deconstructions of Far Cry. Like it's a blender of really cool open world mechanics, and like you better believe Avalanche knows how to make open world games, and now they have a really cool IP, much like Max Payne, that they get to kind of like play around in. I don't know. Again, I'm not a Harry Potter fan. I think this is gonna be one of the biggest games of the year for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude, Quidditch. Quidditch, bro.
Oh man.
Yeah, Quidditch. Dude, if you don't get to play Quidditch, what are we doing here?
If
I suggest a game of Quidditch, this guy's gonna come in his pants. Sorry. That's a role models quote.
You Ben Affleck looking motherfucker. You Ben Affleck.
If you white, you Ben Affleck. You are white.
You are white. Oh man,
I love that movie.
What is that on, by the way? Because I wanted to rewatch that for a while.
I watched it on Hulu, I think.
Okay, all right.
And I just remembered how genius Jane Lynch can be if given the right role.
Yeah.
Like
I don't even think they wrote any lines for her. I think they were like, just come on and be passive aggressive or full on aggressive.
Constantly say something about BSing. Just include something about BSing in your lines.
Yeah.
Oh man, and I thought 80 Miles, who played like the really awkward older guy who was always being one of the bigs for the littles at that camp. He's like, haha, this is my year 5, and he's a big nerd and stuff. His improvs are so freaking funny. Like he called Paul Rudd's character Dan, and Paul Rudd's like, no, it's Danny. And he goes, oh, Danny boy, the Danny boy is a Danny boy. And it's just like, I can tell that's an improv that he just threw out there, and it just stupid crap like that makes me laugh so hard for days.
Yeah. No,
anyway, Hogwarts Legacy, can't wait.
Yes.
So absolutely. There is a rumor that there is a smaller stealth-focused Assassin's Creed game starring Basim that might be coming in 2023. Now,
how dare they?
That's the person that introduced himself to the main guy in Valhalla, right?
So in the modern day part of the newer games, that's who he's part of the modern day story.
Oh, he's in the modern day part. Okay. I was like, who's that guy that introduced himself as an assassin to the Valhalla?
Without getting too deep into like the actual story and spoilers, because I am forgetting some of it, but yeah, like he's part of the modern day stuff, but like it's a little more than that. But he's like the kind of like Middle Eastern-y type of wherever, I forget where he's from.
So he's definitely apparently in Valhalla though.
Yeah.
Tim added more notes here that it's codenamed Rift right now, and the title was originally planned to be an expansion, as you can imagine. If you want to do another story with the same character, then you're going to be like, oh, it's an expansion, but this sounds like it's going to be more like the Ezio sequels that he had, which are like just more games. So it sounds like it's going to be a standalone game, like a la Lost Legacy or something like that. But it's going to reportedly focus on stealth and be much smaller scope, meaning it's not going to be this open world juggernaut that you can never beat.
It makes me laugh that that's an emphasis. Stealth focus. You mean something that assassins do?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's what defines an
but
assassin.
But that kind of became more and more optional each title, it felt
like.
Well,
right, and that's what I thought was stupid, because it's like it just became more of an action RPG and less of a stealth game. And it's like, but it's about assassins. Like,
and I don't care about that, because assassins, they also they just run in and kill people too. That's
that's
assassins
fine.
don't mean ninja. Like
right.
It doesn't, yeah. So like this whole idea that like, oh, these games can't just be The Witcher, and like where you could just go wherever you want and do whatever you want and like tackle stuff however you want. You can stealth in those games if you want to. You guys are choosing not to. So that sounds
of course,
like your problem.
Absolutely, no, absolutely. All I'm saying is they with this newer trilogy they were leaning more towards the action than the stealth.
And I'll also, to add to your argument, like we're also addressing cultures that aren't as based in like you're not chiming into like Greek mythology and being like, yeah, there were a lot of like assassins there. Like, no, they were warriors, with giant swords and big shields and stuff like that.
It's just weird to talk about the creed, the actual creed, and like it calling these games Assassin's Creed, but then it's like, yeah, it's not really like they're not really being assassin, because it's technically, well, Origins is like the beginning of the whole thing, right?
Yeah,
that's why it's called Origins. So
yeah.
But like, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just weird calling it Assassin's Creed when that is what their creed is kind of like sneaking around and being like not known and in the shadows, so to speak. And again, it just leans, this particular trilogy has definitely leaned more towards that direction. But yeah, gameplay wise, you do have choice. You can certainly be more sneaky and kind of mix and match.
But you're right. There's no consequence. There's no consequences to you just being like, oh, I guess I got found. So I get it. I get it. But just, I don't know.
It's just funny to me to
go play
see,
Thief if you want a stealth game.
I will not. I will not do that.
I won't do that.
Or Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which more, I think, better rewards stealth. Than,
you know what, Jeff? That game is too woke and too corporate, so I will not play it.
It is way too corporate, man. Remember when she's like, hold on, zombie, I got to drink a Sprite, and then she holds it up to the camera? God, it's so corporate.
I do.
Yes. And let me tell you about trans rights, she says, right? At one point.
Right. We gotta really dig into this issue. I remember finishing that game. I was like, what was the trans thing everyone was mad about?
Yeah.
I literally had
I remember that too. Yeah.
It's like, what was that about?
You mean that one character for that hot second that was in the game? Like, that's what we're mad about? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Jeez.
People be cranky.
All right, so we got to move on to the last part of the show, which is playing and watching. There's only one thing under watching, so we should just let's just do that. Book of Boba Fett season 1 is over. I don't know if there's going to be another season. I feel like they're just going to go right into Mandalorian after this.
I thought you guys hated Star Wars.
Yeah, outside of my hate of Star Wars, I had to watch this show because of pop culture, being in touch with pop culture.
Well, I just feel like the more I imprison myself in things I don't like to watch, the more I validate my own opinions by choosing to watch things I know I don't like. So
yeah. That's me. That's why I still watch Walking Dead. Trash.
I hope you don't. I hope that's not true.
No, I don't.
I hope you don't.
Gonna get mad if you are. So you've been watching Walking Dead all this time? Yeah.
I think Negan killed.
Don't care. Whatever you're about to say, I don't care about.
He killed the main people that he's famous for killing.
Okay. The nobodies.
The show, and then I dropped off shortly after that. When he killed like Glenn and stuff, I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, no. I dropped off the second that Carl got shot in the eye, and I'm like, I'm done with this. I can't.
That's so early. I love that.
Yeah, that is really
early.
Like
it's that early. That's like 4 or 5
like season 3.
Well, I mean, there's
season 3 is like the governor, man. Season 3 is like the governor.
Oh yeah, this shitty governor. God,
and then there's like another season after that, and then there's and then the season after that. That's the one I stopped on. Like 5.
Okay.
It was like season
5. Dude, my wife couldn't handle when was it Herschel? I can't remember his name. The old guy.
Yeah,
Herschel. Yeah, she couldn't, because to her that was like he had like a Santa vibe. And she's like, I can't do this.
Oh my gosh.
I can't do this. Nope, I'm done.
That's
and I was
adorably
like, all right. Yeah, because I was into the show still, so I was like, oh, come on,
At that
really?
time, I still actually enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah. But
that was still the governor stuff.
Yeah.
That was when the show was like okay, like tolerable. You know?
Anyway, Book of Boba Fett, right, guys?
Sure.
No, I'd rather talk about Walking Dead instead. Can we talk
Yeah,
about that a little
let's
longer?
Let's talk more about Norman Reedus growling his way through the show for 10 seasons.
Oh,
I pretty much enjoyed, like, I don't have anything in the show that stood out like much of the internet that made me hate it or anything. I don't think it's the best Star Wars thing to come out from Disney, but I enjoyed my time.
Me neither. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't.
I think people are really hung up on what they think a character was supposed to be who had about 4 speaking lines and 5 minutes of screen time across 3 movies.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Just shame on you guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what like.
Well,
what
that's
your
always been
headcanon
the thing,
was.
right? Is everybody has loved this character, but I think it clearly was from like a visual, aesthetically, they loved his look.
He's
Because he
most
didn't do
known for
anything in those movies,
getting
man.
hit in his jetpack and flying into
Yes.
a Jabba's barge and dying immediately. That's his big. That's the most screen time he ever has, and we're all like, he should be cooler.
And he says like
I'm
one line, which is like
he was
"sir,"
never
this,
cool,
whatever.
guys.
He says
Like,
one
what are
line,
you
yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
So
anyway,
is this not a good like compare it to Mandalorian? Like is it like on par
I think
quality
it's
wise?
I think it's very comparable quality wise. I think it's very comparable like the way it's shot, like production value wise. I just think like, and the highs are very high in the show for me, especially for me. You know, who's read kind of all that, because people show up and you're like, well, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
But it's not like, I think The Mandalorian is still kind of like the best outing of Star Wars right now, for sure. But I'm telling you, the highs are so high in this show.
Oh my god, dude! Episode 6 is like some of like the most nerdgasmy stuff you'll watch in a TV show. And I watched like the only background I had on some characters was like 3 seasons of Clone Wars. So when some people showed up, I was like, I know who that is, and I got a chance to geek out, you know, like, so that was really cool.
It's really cool. I think the show's really great. I think that there's a lot of really interesting character development in Boba, because like he's not just a stone cold killer. Like he's here on a pathway. He doesn't want to die like his father, you know, like die a gunslinger and stuff like that.
Yes,
he's lived that whole life. And there's some really cool choices that they make, and he uses his knee pad missile launchers like a lot in the last episode of the show.
Knee pad missile launcher,
which you always see in the concept art in the original trilogy, but he never uses. He uses it in Mandalorian season 2, but he uses it like a few times in this last episode. And I don't want to go into spoilers. Like we shouldn't go into spoilers rather. But this show is a lot of fun. You know, like
it is fun. Fun is definitely how I describe it. Yeah.
It's Star Wars through and through, you know, like there's a lot of really cool like lore dumps and a lot of really cool EU picks. Like we learned that like Tatooine was like once like a fertile planet with like lots of water and lots of like trees and foliage, but like a giant war like wiped out, like it made the planet inhabitable pretty much, you know. So you know, that's why it is the way that
I do love hearing about that type of stuff.
So it's really cool world building. A lot of really cool world building, a lot of really cool stuff, you know. You get a who's who directors. I mean, Dave Filoni, you know, directs just the best episode ever. Bryce Dallas Howard comes in and directs the second best episode in the entire show.
Really?
It's done by Robert Rodriguez, and he does a couple really great episodes. Like it's a who's who's of directors.
That dude does like really good. I mean, just in general, I don't mean his best examples are in the show, but in general, the way he shoots action is very appealing.
Yeah. And
just
while
thinking back
like,
on like
maybe
and stuff.
like the last episode of the season really has that action on display, like his like quintessential height of action that he can like accomplish. Which, I feel like there was a lot of big stuff happening in that last episode, and we just set up a lot of really cool stuff that's going on. And now like there are and again, I don't want to go into spoilers. We can just start Mandalorian season 3 now. Like there's not any like, well, where are they now and what's going on? Like there's we're entering this new age of I don't know, kind of like a hybrid TV model. Disney expects you, and they're doing the same thing with Marvel. They expect that you're watching everything.
Right.
So like if you just
It's all connected.
If you jump from Mandalorian season 2 right to season 3, you're gonna be really lost because this is Mandalorian season 2.5. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean that in
it's
not a spoiler
imagine
way.
skipping Civil War and going right to Infinity War and being like, "Where's Cap?"
Yeah,
Why are they beefing? Like, what's
why?
going on?
Why is he wrestling with having to call Cap? It makes no sense.
I think Disney has realized they have really something with this Mandalorian character Din Djarin, and I just expect him to show up in every show. Like when Ahsoka comes out, he's gonna show up. Like if they still do Republic Commandos, which I think they're canceling because Cara Dune, is whatever. Whatever.
She's got her own thing going on.
Yeah, she's got her own thing going on or whatever. He would have shown up in that show. I think like any show that's happening in this time zone, if you will, I think like he's gonna show up and be like, "Hey, remember me?" Like he's kind of your glue or your foundation of like stuff that's going on in these series. Mm-hmm. So
and we do know now officially that Obi-Wan is premiering on May 25th. So that's exciting. I am over the moon hyped about that show.
People are gonna be so mad at the show. Like
I can't wait. Because guess where it takes place, guys. Guess where it takes place.
It's gonna be him sitting on Tatooine musing about past acts because like they specifically say, I am acting across from Hayden Christensen, who is portraying Anakin Skywalker. This is what he's saying in interviews. So it's not a Darth Vader thing. Like. Sure.
Yeah,
he's gonna be reflecting on things that happened during the Clone Wars, and I think we're gonna get a lot of really cool flashbacks and stuff like that.
God, I can't wait.
That seems kind of weird though, because it's been so many years later that it's not like then they were 20s and now it's like they're in their 70s, but there's like a little bit of
they can make it work. Yeah, I mean they have done a lot of really. Disney is known for their de-aging technologies, so I'm really not worried about them looking the wrong age or anything like that.
If you look at Boba Fett, but like they had to do some de-aging in that, and it looks insanely remarkable now.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about what specifically you're talking about, but let me just say that what you're talking about is so incredible that I just can't even say anymore. Like it's just
it's uncomfortable how good it is.
You get to see people that shouldn't be the age they're supposed to be, being a certain age, and you're like, how did this is
there was that one character in I think Last Jedi that was the woman. There was that woman that kind of had the short reddish hair that like. I think she actually looked I don't think they actually had to do much CGI, but she looked very similar to like the original character from the original trilogy or something like that. I wish I knew what the name of the character was.
You might be talking about Rogue One.
Are you talking about Mon Mothma?
Or maybe Rogue One.
No, Mon Mothma, I actually could tell you, that is actually a completely different actress, and she just so happens to look exactly like the original.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what
No de-aging there, but like...
they definitely come far in terms of Tarkin. Like, I mean, if you think back on Rogue One and Tarkin and how Uncanny Valley that might have looked, they've come a long way, man.
Yeah.
Deep fakes... Thank you.
Yeah. They did a really
so I have
job
all the confidence in the world that they can pull off,
And again, like look up a picture of Hayden Christensen right now. Hayden Christensen hasn't aged that much. Like take a look at him. Maybe his hairline's kind of like mine, where it's widow speaking a little bit, but like throw the Anakin wig on him. Like he does not look at his age much, and like you can hide Obi-Wan's age. Like put a beard on him.
He has a lot of the beard.
Yeah. Like there's I'm not worried about like them looking.
They mentioned as well in articles. These are all rumors at this point that Darth Vader would have a presence in the show and be as angry as he was in like Jedi Fallen Order, where it's like I'm scared.
I heard that we're promised a match between them two. So
yeah, that's true. And by the way, just look up the cast for the show. It's insane. It is like, holy crap, dude! I can't wait for that show. Anyway, we got to talk about what we're playing. I don't think any of us played Ollie World though, so we don't really have anything to say about that, do we?
I was gonna say we can save Sifu. Sifu should be like the main thing, so maybe that could be the last one.
Yeah, sure. Sifu and Dying Light 2 we'll save. All right. So I already mentioned the Triangle Strategy demo. I'm actually pretty impressed with it. I'm more impressed that I don't hate it. So I'll keep at that. Kyle and I have started diddling CrossfireX separately. I think we're just focusing on the campaign at this point.
Yeah.
Separate diddles,
because multiplayer is just standard PvP, is my understanding, right? I mean, there's not really any PvE going on or anything. So it's just not that type of shooter.
It's a Chinese shooter too, right? Like it's a
So and Microsoft was the one that asked Remedy, like, can you please help us get a campaign? We want more eyes on this product. Please help us get a single player campaign. And Remedy was like, well, we don't have shooter experience, and we've always wanted to do one. So why not?
Okay.
And I think they put their C team on it or something.
It definitely feels like their C team for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a grade A Remedy stuff, but it's not terrible. It's just
again, maybe the story kicks in late.
Yeah, because there's only so far there's 2 campaigns out, and I think they're just going to keep releasing stuff and begging for microtransactions.
Sure.
But the first campaign is just 3 chapters, but like each chapter has like I don't know 20 or so scenes, and each scene is like you shooting through like a hallway or something for a good 15 minutes or so. Maybe some sequences even longer. So yeah, I got through the first chapter of stuff, and I even forget the reason that you're there, but you get stranded in enemy territory. The enemy knows you're supposed to do a stealth op, and the enemy finds out that you're there, and you end up stranded there with like 3 other, or I guess it's 3 guys total, right? And one of them is just like a main assault guy, one of them's a heavy, one of them's a sniper rifle, and you're kind of alternating. There's definitely a point man, and that's the assault guy, but you're kind of alternating at a certain point to the sniper guy and the heavy. And I think that's interesting, but the shooting isn't like, I mean, you're not going to like, I don't know, write home to your mom about it or something. It's just, it's
There's
fine.
something about it that feels weird.
Yeah.
I will say that. Like,
so it doesn't feel smooth like Call of Duty?
I don't know, like, it just, maybe the guns don't kick enough, like, maybe there's not enough weight to everything, I don't know, but, like, something about the game, I'm like, okay, yeah, and the throwback aspects come to, like, level design. You're literally just walking corridor to corridor or, like, point to point, and, like, I don't have any problem with that at all, like, I think...
No, me neither.
I think linear shooters are really cool, to be honest, but, like,
yeah.
There's something about, like, the weight of the guns that just don't, I don't know, don't feel right. Is that what you feel, Jeff? Or
yeah,
like, is there something
like that,
weird about
something
that?
like the rebound or whatever you call it, the recoil of the guns, like feel like
like
maybe they focused a little too hard on that aspect in the wrong way. It just feels unnatural.
Yeah.
But I can still kill dudes, and I'm like, yeah, I killed him. Like it's so there's still some element of that. And then in between shooting segments, like your main character like passes out or something happens to him, and he goes into like this dream state. And then there's like some sci-fi elements in there where he's getting information from this dream state that kind of feeds into the story of what's happening in real time. And that's the part where I'm like, is this Remedy kind of messing with our brains here? Like, that's interesting, and maybe that plays into his ability to kind of slow time and focus on shooting, because there is that max pain element.
They don't explain that at all. You just
no, they don't. You can just
control time. Yeah,
you're already amazing at it right away.
Yeah.
So it's fine, you know, as far as Game Pass goes, it's good for that. That's for sure. Kyle and I ran into issues getting the campaign. Apparently, it was supposed to be free for Game Pass. I didn't realize there was an issue though. I didn't even think to check the Twitter.
That sucks.
I was like,
I just bought it because it was like $8
no, you shouldn't have
or
done
whatever,
that. I'm like,
discount.
what do you mean I shouldn't have done that?
What do you mean?
I didn't know either.
Why
I
aren't you
just
just working properly? That's strange. Yeah. It's $8 though. Who cares?
Yeah, it was cheap, and I think again I think that's the focus with this game. Yeah, they don't really want anybody to really buy this game. They're just kind of going, just kind of like the Halo Infinite multiplayer stuff, where it's like just buy a bunch of stuff and you know, for perks and stuff and enjoy it or whatever. They're kind of doing that with this.
So I'm curious, is this like some sort of video game take on the classic 90s board game Crossfire?
Crossfire!
You've been caught in the crossfire!
Yeah.
I would have commended them for that. That would have been a great throwback.
So it's not that, is what you're saying.
It's not, but there is a throwback element of it where you kind of feel like you're playing a previous gen throwback shooter.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
both in a positive and a negative way.
You feel like you're playing a 1990s board game when you play this game.
Yes.
Dude, Kyle and I hit that high note there. Crossfire!
Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah.
That's amazing. I can't do that anymore, and I'm a singer. So
I believe in you, Jeff.
All I have is falsetto, Jeff. That's all.
That's all.
So who played or diddled Edge of Eternity? I know that just came out.
I did. I played that. Yeah.
I played like 15 minutes, but yeah, Kyle
played like an hour. Okay. I gotta be honest, man. The opening of this game, awesome.
Pretty tense, right?
Pretty awesome is what it is. I didn't know this was gonna be like a sci-fi fantasy game, so like immediately it's like space travelers came from above. I'm like, oh, I'm in. I'm already in. This is not something I'm gonna beat, but I like that Final Fantasy X kind of like, oh, there's technology and fantasy going on. I don't know if this is a spoiler. I don't feel like I'm spoiling anything, but like you meet a lot of people. You meet a lot of people at this game at the beginning of this game, and they all like die immediately.
Yeah,
and, like to me, it makes me feel like the stakes are really high in this game.
Right.
It's not just turn-based. You're moving hexagon to hexagon, and then it's kind of turn-based. So it's kind of like this. It's kind of like tactical elements to it in a way.
So
you know?
it's like this hexagon grid. Like basically the placement of your characters, you can move them around, and enemies will do certain attacks. So like there's an ATB meter. So like while that meter is filling up, they're gonna cast like a spell on that one hexagon, right? So you could move your character away so it doesn't take the crazy damage.
And ATB meters are like if I have to do a turn-based game, ATB meters are like my favorite way to like kind of create an urgency within the menu-based turn-based fighting style. I
keep you on your toes.
There's a lot of things, and I'm not far into this game, but like there's a lot of things about this game that I'm like, these are the RPG elements I actually really like. There's a lot of talking, there's a lot of story, there's a lot of like world building and stuff like that. So it's like, I know Tim was playing and Derek were playing like a pre-build or whatever. I wonder how much of the story was in that pre-build. You know what I mean? Because like, I feel like it opened stronger than I thought it would. You know, like it was
released in sorry, I was gonna say it was released in portions before the full game. So.
Oh really? Is that how they pieced it out?
Yeah, they basically
released like episodic almost. You know?
Yeah.
Interesting. So it's not that it was just kind of released like in a pre-build mode. Like they actually pieced mode. That's actually super interesting to me. So I don't know. I mean, like I'm more tolerant to RPG tropes. Maybe you are too, Dan. I don't know.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm here for the tropes. You know. Sometimes I want a main character with amnesia. You know. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Not that this is that game, but like just in terms of leaning into tropes, this is obviously a love letter to JRPGs of the PS2 era. It plays like a PS2 era JRPG even.
Sure.
It kind of looks like a PS2 era RPG, to be honest. But I'm kind of enjoying it. Like, I don't be surprised if I put like up to 10 to 14 hours and I quit like every JRPG I ever start. So that 14 hours, like that's the threshold for me. So.
The actual premise reminds me like a little bit of the new Tales game, actually. Like
there's
a little bit of
I was actually going to mention that. Yeah. Like again,
the different races and sort of
but they came from space, you know, and like enslaved this whole. Yeah, absolutely. Very. There's a lot of echoes here. So. Again, it's hitting a lot of narrative beats that you may have seen before. It's using a lot of mechanics that you may be seen before. But if you love these like hodgepodge mixtures of greatest hits of mechanics and ideas, it's on Game Pass. It's free.
Give it a shot. You know? Yeah. It's not terrible by any means. I don't think it's terrible by any means.
No, I don't think it's terrible at all.
Swimming in sevens, right? That's what
swimming in sevens. I got. Hardcore swimming in sevens. Yeah.
So I beat Uncharted 4 on PS5. Amazing game, as I said many times on this podcast already.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's one of the best. Like seriously, just the ending just continues to blow me away. Of the parallels between the past and the present, and how they tie in the Avery and 2 rivalry with Drake and douchebag boy with the slick back hair. Rafe.
Yeah.
It's just I just love how they come to blows in a sword fight. I know that's like too cinematic for some people. They wanted more of a brawl or something. They wanted more of an epic boss fight, but I was like, that's perfect for me. I mean,
I love that. That's my favorite ending of all 4 games. Like, how many temples did you run away from while it's falling apart while supernatural beings are chasing after you? Maybe all 3 games before it?
All 3 of them, yeah.
So for this to end in such a personal battle that was like, it's very Goonies, you know? I love this this like search for like, you know, a buried treasure from like pirates and stuff like that. It's one of the all-time greatest games ever.
It really is.
Sorry.
I still haven't started Lost Legacy.
Whoever's listening doesn't agree with that, sorry, but it is.
I know.
So, yeah.
I still haven't started Lost Legacy yet, but I do remember finishing 4 and going, where's the train chase?
Yeah,
that's one of the
Lost
best
Legacy,
level designs.
That's the end of Lost Legacy, which is from 2. You know, they're like, hey, you like the train scene in 2, right? We're gonna do that again. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm here for that.
Like platforming as the train's falling apart and like on the side doors.
Yeah.
And I love those 2 gals' banter too. Like, I think they have like amazing banter. So
and Nadine has like a really good history that she talks about, like as to why she's helping Chloe, and like I just love that their whole, not just their dynamic, but their like backstory as to why they're doing what they're doing. And I don't know, just the level design stuff in Lost Legacy, just that sticks in my memory more than some of the stuff in 4, which is, I find weird because 4 is like the main title.
Yeah,
but it feels like they refined a lot of things in Lost Legacy. I just I can't wait to do it again. Anyway, just wanted to shout that out. And who I assume this is you, Dan, that's on Resident Evil on PC, right?
Yeah, who's tarnishing the masterpiece there, or master race with
I did not do that.
Masturbatory.
Low hanging fruit.
That is
Resident Evil
low-hanging
Village. Trying it on PC.
I bought it on PC. I got it off of CD keys, which Derek has mentioned.
Super cheap on there, yeah.
Mentioned before, but also seems a little shady. So be wary.
Yeah, you have to pay attention to the ratings for sure. Like, how many people have bought from this one person? Do the ratings look legit?
Yeah. I just wanted to just throw that in there that I'm basically I just finished the Lady Dimitrescu part. That game looks gorgeous on PC. I just wanted to throw that out there. Looks fantastic.
That's awesome.
And runs super smooth. It just looks great. It's already a gorgeous game. Again, it had been a few months since I played it back on my PS5, but it looks really good. It looks very, very good. So
that's exactly my reasoning for bringing up Uncharted 4, though. Like, because it's like I'm playing it on 5. I just want to talk about that. It's amazing, and that it looks gorgeous. Great on 5. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. So I can't recall if Kyle or you played this, but GetsuFumaDen.
Not me, no.
Okay, Undying Moon came out on Switch. They have the direct that we talked about, and it's pretty tough.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, I didn't really die though. I was just constantly replenishing my health along the way, which is fine if you're on Apprentice. There is an Apprentice mode, so it's not just a straight up roguelike where you're just constantly getting brutalized. But that first boss fight, I got handily defeated. I just had to kind of like reassess my strategy at that point. And I haven't revisited it since, but that's like a good hour that you're kind of like figuring out where to go. It's like Metroid Dread Light in that regard, where like you can go up, you can go down. You like there's it's a map, like you can go many directions to get loot. But yeah, I love the visual style of it. I think it is a Chinese game, if I'm not mistaken, because there's like a lot of visuals of it that they didn't remove, like some of the characters and stuff.
Do you mean the developer or just like aesthetically? Like,
yeah, aesthetically it's Japanese, but it might be Chinese.
Oh, it's a Konami game, isn't it? Right?
Oh, it is.
Oh,
yeah,
Japanese,
I think
it.
Yeah,
that's true.
So my mistake on that. But yeah, like some of the characters, like
samurai swords, Jeff.
Whenever you
didn't exist in China.
I'm racist. But whenever you defeat an enemy, there's like a cool animation that happens. You see a lot of blood, and then like a Japanese symbol comes up or whatever.
Very like I chopped off their head. They explode into loot, and like you swing like the blood off your sword, and like it's like
I'm all for
that. Combat pauses for a second.
Yeah,
it looks like
I think the animation
it looks like Japanese
really cool.
watercolors, right? Like, am I wrong on that? Like, it's very,
you might be right on
kind
that,
of like an quote unquote authentic, kind of like watercolor like look to it. So
yeah.
The title's a dead giveaway that it's just authentic Japanese game for sure. It plays pretty well. Like, I mean, there's a ton of these type of side scrolling or upward scrolling, whatever scrolling direction you're going in, type of combat games, and the combat you're doing varies based on the weapon you find. Like I had this kind of a hoss of a bat that's like spiked that I found, and it's a little slow to hit enemies, but you're hitting them way less times than you would just a regular sword.
Yeah.
Whereas a sword, you're kind of just slicing them really quickly.
Chipping away.
If I picked it up properly, there you can have 2 main weapons and 2 side weapons or sub weapons. Excuse me.
And the sub weapons are like a gun, a bow and arrow, stuff like that. There's one that's like a spell thing where like you cast a spell and it does damage or something. So there's some magic elements in it too.
And you're kind of picking. It's very Dead Cells like. You're kind of picking these weapons up along the way and stuff like that. So it's really cool.
And you're kind of meant to die. You're meant to get your ass handed to you by the boss and go, start over. Get a different weapon next time. So it is kind of cool. Yeah, it's not like a list breaker or anything, but it's pretty solid. I'm surprised. Yeah. When it said Konami after I bought it, I didn't realize it was Konami. But when I bought it, I was like, oh man, I gave money to the enemy. But it's all right.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I felt really dirty buying this game.
Yeah, I mean. But I mean, if we don't give these devs under Konami money, then they don't they're like, well, I guess pachinko machines it is, you know.
I would rather that than ever see a bastardized version of Metal Gear Solid come out or something like that. Oh wait, we got that. It's called 5. Boom.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Well, actually, let me explain to you why it's the most genius thing I've ever played in my life.
Mechanically, it's a really good game. And, all right, well, tell me what the story's about.
Hey, Kojima was still there doing his best, all right?
He wasn't, though. He was fired halfway through the game. So.
He was doing his best, Kyle.
Which is why when you're playing that game, you're like, where's all the Kojima-isms? You're like, oh, they're not here because he wasn't here for them. So,
so I wanted to revisit discussing Dying Light 2 from last week. I didn't really put much, if at all, additional time into it. Kyle, it sounds like you put a lot of time into that game.
Yeah, I'm 15 hours in or so. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I think that, like, I was saying a lot of things, guys. I'm not going to take those back. I was like, guys, this might have Game of the Year. It's not going to be Game of the Year. It's never, not in a million years. But it's still delivering on like a really hardcore, like fun vibe to me.
Yeah.
I was kind of saying in the chat, like it's my social game right now. I'm playing with some friends back from Texas. You know, it's a fun time, like having 4 people kind of run around together in the city and just kind of take care of business. The nights feel a little more like manageable when you have people, you know, kind of watching your back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of exploration where like someone will like go off the beaten path and be like, "Whoa, I found something over here," and like we'll all be like, "Well, let's go parkour over there," you know. And I like that a lot. I've been really enjoying the social aspect of this game. I probably wouldn't be enjoying this game as much if I were playing it alone.
Interesting.
But that's the thing is, I remember playing the first game from start to finish co-op. So it's like this isn't really new, you know, like this game is a co-op game. It's I don't know. I've made a lot of decisions. I don't know if any of them have mattered. It doesn't feel like it to me at all.
Yeah, because they made it seem like when you
made it a big deal.
That was a major part of their marketing. That like every decision you make changes.
The environment changes and things like that. No. Like maybe you just haven't gotten there yet.
I chose to not agree with Rosario Dawson on accident because everyone knows I would agree with Ahsoka Tano immediately about anything.
Yes.
And I chose wrong, and like my character was like, "I know I chose against what your wish is. Are you mad?" And she's like, "Nah. What do you want to do next?" And it's just like there were no consequences to that decision. Oh, okay. Okay. Cool, I guess.
She's just real chill.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've seen some stuff in the chat like the combat's not great. It's not. I mean, first person melee combat's always kind of weird, you know.
Yeah, that's my general feeling.
There's not a lot going on.
You're either gonna be on board with that, or you're just gonna kind of be like, I'll play something else.
Yeah, I mean, like, and it depends on how much you're giving into the mechanics too. So if you're just swinging your melee weapon, and you're not like vaulting over people and drop kicking people and like doing all the extra parkour like combat, yes, it's stale. Even when you're doing that stuff, it's still. I don't know. It's not like suddenly you're playing, you know, like Dark Souls or something with like really like precise mechanics or anything like that. But it's really cool. I don't think I've ever been in a game where like a city actually felt right. So like what I mean by that is like skyscrapers feel so overwhelmingly tall. Like the sense of scale like really makes you feel small. Even in stuff like Cyberpunk did a really good job of this too, I guess, you know. Moments of Grand Theft Auto 5 maybe kind of make you feel like this, but like this game is like a really good example of just like using scope to like make things, I don't know, feel like make the world feel bigger, especially when you start like gliding around and like getting around a little quicker and stuff like that. Like it just, the game had to be as vertical as it is to kind of supplement all these like traversal options. And I don't know, I'm enjoying it. I think the story's dumb. I think it's good enough where like, hey, I'm okay, like I'm looking for my sister, all right, and I meet this person, and they may know how to get to the next shred of evidence that my sister is somewhere, and like that's good enough for me. I like there being kind of some kind of narrative pull of why I'm doing stuff. But like, if hey Kyle, you're emotionally invested. No, I literally don't care if this guy ever sees his sister. I don't care. You know, it's cool that that's the journey.
I literally don't care.
It's cool that that's the journey that we're on. Like every time Rosario Dawson shows up, like she is pretty cool. You know, there's some cool characters. There's some cool deaths. You know, I've made some decisions where people have died, and I'm like, oh, all right, well that sucks. But yeah, I don't know. Like you're not playing this game to get a Last of Us story or anything like that. So
yeah, that's true.
Even though again, I feel a little duped because that's how they kind of pitched it. Like our story is emotional and big, and your
they're of course
your
going to
choices
say that,
matter.
right?
And
yeah, that's true.
I guess, yeah. Or you could
They're
just
not going to be like, our story is whatever.
Far Cry never says that. Far Cry never goes, we're here to deliver the best story ever. You know what I mean?
It's true.
And,
they know what they're giving you.
And oh man, I'm so sorry if this makes people mad. This and Far Cry, these are the same games to me. Like they scratch the same exact itch. You're doing the same exact like climbing up antennas to like unlock everything around you.
I think 6 actually had a couple of emotional moments from what I recall. Not like actually made me cry or anything, but there was some like, oh, okay, that character.
Sure, but you're also saying 6 games into a series, they finally hit an emotional beat. You know,
sure.
Also.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. So like, these games hit the same kind of not emotional, mechanical like fun for me. You know, in terms of like traversing an open world, and they're very different. One's obviously a shooter, one's kind of more melee focused, obviously, but like. You're doing the same stuff. You're walking up to something, climbing up it. I know 6 didn't have this, but like, you know, you're climbing up an antenna. It's unlocking kind of like a bird's eye view. You're doing a little more binocularing to like, you know, paint stuff to kind of go to. But they kind of have similar kind of traversal and open world elements because you can glide in Far Cry. You can, use a grappling hook and stuff like that. These are very similar traversal mechanics that Dying Light has. Just Dying Light has a little more like parkour kind of influence stuff.
Yeah.
They just feel very similar to me. So when people will talk about like, Far Cry's fun, I'm like, yeah, that Dying Light's kind of fun, you know? Like these are just kind of like fun games that are like never going to be at the top of anybody's list, but like they hit well and they usually hit at the right time. And it's just a shame that a lot of people are having a lot of bugs with this game.
Yeah, it's huge though, so that usually happens.
I feel like we should be crucifying this game like we did for Cyberpunk because they're having the same exact type of problems. But
the expectation for I think Cyberpunk was much higher. So
I guess, yeah. So we should blame the game for everybody putting expectations on it. You're right.
Well, I mean, like they basically like the ink was like not even dry yet for them signing the rights of making a Cyberpunk game, and they had that CG trailer of the girl with the bullets whizzing by her.
Yeah, that game that 11 years ago that trailer came out. I think.
Yeah.
And like 4 years later, like we started production on it. I'm like, what was with that trailer then? Like,
so I think it was a little bit of them like building the hype for a long time.
I'm just saying, I feel like if we're gonna put the burner on people, we need to put it on everybody. And I don't mean that in like a everyone should get dumped on. I mean like if we want to see real industry change, like we need to like be holding every developer to the same standard of like putting out broken games.
Yeah.
And like while I'm playing this game, very lucky to say I've had no bugs like literally at all. But I'm playing with people who have game-breaking bugs who can only play in my game now because they can't progress further in their game.
Ah, jeez.
Just like it was just horrifying. Like 20 hours in, like can't do anything anymore. Type of game-breaking bugs. So like it's just this game got delayed so many times. It's been pushed back so many times. It's like how did y'all put out a game in this type of?
It's just huge. This is just always going to happen with like aside from like something like a Red Dead. Like it's very very rare that games these sizes.
If Rockstar can do it, everybody else can figure it out. I'm so tired of using this. Like, well, open world games are always going to be glitchy, and I say this too to like defend Skyrim and stuff like that. It's like, well, you can't account for everything, you know.
I don't know.
So,
I think Rockstar is way bigger than Techland, though.
I get that argument. They are for sure, and they have more money and stuff like that. But like, if you want to take on an ambition like that, you need to have the ability to like perform. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of things that need, because then it's like the publisher putting sort of stress on the developer because they're like, well, I mean, deadlines.
It's a complicated situation.
So,
absolutely. And like we're talking about like this game came out at the right time because like the fiscal year is about to end for the whole industry. So it's like, of course, this game had to come out before that fiscal year ended. So like everyone got their money. You know, so it's like, you could push this game out, but if you push it any more further, it'd fall out of the fiscal year and no one would make a yearly profit. So like, again, Dan. Like, well, I think we're all pretty like used to how like the industry we're a little more business savvy than maybe your average Joe or whatever.
Of course,
you're absolutely right though. Like there's a lot of pressure going on to like make sure these games come out.
There's a lot of moving parts.
Cyberpunk was a big offender of that. You know, it's like everyone was like, you just got to put the game out, and they're like, okay,
all right,
and like, and then we got what we got. You know, so it's just we need to stop. This needs to stop. You know, like it
needs to just every game needs to do the Fallout 4 thing and just be like, hey, or the Resident Evil 2 remake where there was like this game's coming out in 6 months, 5 months. Like
I don't know, man. I'm a huge fan of like the 4 year. Like,
No, Kyle, you're part of the
Love
problem.
it.
Fan, man.
Part of the problem.
I love waiting for
especially when it's led by Kojima, and he's like, "I'm gonna screw with you for all 4 of these years. I'm gonna string you along. You have no idea what's going on." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. Do it to me, baby."
I mean, not many people are allowed to do it, but Kojima could do it. So.
He can pull it off. Yeah.
Last game we have on the list is Sifu, unless you guys had anything else.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Well, Sifu's all right. So this has been a good episode, guys.
He was fine. Anyways,
are you guys just mad because it's too hard? Is that what it is?
No, I actually feel like I'm really good at this game. So
okay. All right.
I keep on seeing people being like this.
At it. Yeah.
I've seen a few people in our group go, "This game is as hard as Sekiro," and I'll tell you, Sekiro is literally the hardest game I've ever played in my entire life. Like I can't even like imagine how people like master that game. Like it's so crazy to me.
Well,
like,
Kyle, what I did was
Dan, I don't want to hear it from you. No, like that game is so beyond my levels of comprehension. Like it was one of the. I think I told you this, Jeff. I go, this is one of the very first games to ever come out that I just didn't get. Like I wasn't speaking its language at all. Like so every time I sat down and played it, like I just like there was some major disconnect. Sifu, I totally speak the language of. It's hard. You know, but like I totally like I get what the game needs out of me to like fight these bad guys. So
how about you, Jeff?
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. Where normally I'm kind of put off by the whole this buckle up. This game's hard. You're gonna die on purpose. I immediately like kind of much like with Sekiro, which I have played maybe 10 minutes of because that's when I died and I was like, oh, this isn't for me.
This is
like I like when people are like, we'll just take a Sekiro like a rhythm-based game. I'm like, I suck at those too. Like, what do you like? That doesn't help me, you know? I play Guitar Hero on amateur, guys. Like, what do you?
Something about the timing of the melee in this. Obviously, it's a kung fu game, so the melee better feel good, and it freaking does, man.
The animation's so good in this.
And you figure out the timing thing of like parrying. And then countering with something super swift. You kind of just have to keep playing the same level over and over again till you get the timing right, and you feel yourself getting better as you're kind of replaying that. I mean, that's how I recommend playing the game at least, because you do have the ability of starting the first level over again, and then as you're getting more XP, you would perma unlock skills. Obviously, you have to spend way more XP to perma unlock. But it's worth it in the long run because you're gonna. I mean, that second level. I haven't even played the second level yet. My understanding is, Kyle, that's extremely difficult, right?
I've gone all the way to the boss, and it's hard. Yeah. I'm only 23 years old, and like I burn all of my years going through the second level. So.
Jeez, 23 is a good run too. That first level, like my first try was.
That took me a few times.
Yeah,
that's you. I think you did the best out of all of us for the first.
I think I did, but even though, and I was like, that's. 12 years, man, because you start when you're 20, so like that's already too much. There's 4 more levels to get through, so I definitely want to go back and end at least somewhere before 25 before I go forward, and I haven't gotten that far yet, but you still feel that sense of progress even with just the combat, even if you don't see it in numbers and stuff, you feel it in the gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, you get better at it, Like it's just when I go back to that first boss who killed me like 6 times the first time I beat him, like he doesn't even hit me now. Like I'm. I actually burn my lives going through the level more so than fighting the boss because some asshole will like cheap shot me and I'm like, and I'll just like I'll lose my rhythm and just get like totally pummeled, Which is just like fighting, someone gets a cheap shot in you, like it's hard to get your bearings again. Your character kind of reflects that, God, I just really like this game. Like there's some really fluid action. There's some really fluid animations. Like when you whittle down someone,
feels so good to do. Like
when you whittle down someone's like structure, like you can do a finisher on them. You can pick up weapons, which all feel amazing and they all feel different.
The sound design of that when you're hitting them with like a. Because I was watching the Easy Allies because I haven't bought it yet. I was watching the Easy Allies play it, and Huber was just like with the lead pipe, dude. Yeah, the sound design with the lead pipe, just the impact.
It feels so good.
Oh my god!
It feels great.
So painful.
Guys, can we talk about the opening of this game? This game's got a wonderful opening.
Does it? Okay.
You play as the bad guy.
Okay.
Killing everybody like in the dojo that you're being trained in, including your master, and then it switches to you.
Oh,
so like you have this incentive to be like, I'm gonna get this guy. You know.
Yeah.
So can you guys
Trained 12 years
can you guys
for
kind of
this.
do
Yeah.
like a general like like as far as like the age mechanic and getting older versus like the I guess like getting skills or like that you said there's like perma unlocks, but you're using the experience and
Yeah, so like how it works is that like if you die, you lose you gain a year. If you die twice in a row, you'll probably lose 2 years, you know, and like every time you die, you get another skull. The amount of skulls that you accumulate is the amount of years that pass whenever you die. All right. So but you can get skulls taken down by like beating maybe bosses or sub bosses in the level or doing like a stream of combos or something. Like, it'll be like
finishers help. Yeah.
Yeah, and also you can like gain health, you know, by like finishing off people. You know, so it's like there's a give and take and a reward system for like being offensive and being defensive and stuff like that in this game. In terms of the skill unlocks, like you can unlock skills by just like using experience to like unlock any skill on your skill tree.
Sure.
But you can double down, triple down, quadruple down on certain skills, a certain amount of levels to permanently unlock them. So if you ever restart the game or restart the first level over to kind of like make a new run, because it is a roguelike, you're kind of trying to make a full run through the whole game at a certain level. That like I mean, so like it's I lost my train of thought there, but like
I think it's like you unlock it once and then 5 more times.
I think it's 5 for some, and then like once you unlock it like on that 5th time, no matter what, that skill is always unlocked.
Okay, but you lose the skills unless you permalock.
Yes, you will lose the skills unless you permalock, and you'll lose the skills if you start a run over. You'll lose the skills obviously if you are in a run and you die, and whatever skills you unlock during that run, they're not there anymore. So, it's hard, man. This game's all about parrying and dodging, and like like it's not easy. You're not getting in there like Batman Arkham Asyluming your way where. It's like, wow, I really feel like I can take on 100 dudes at once or whatever. It's like when I walk into a room of 6 people, I'm like, okay, I really got to think about this, you know?
Yeah. And there's some areas where like you go in and there's like tables everywhere. Dude, jump over those tables.
You can put some space in between them.
Sure.
You can pick up bottles and throw it at people, and
and it creates a delay so you can.
It sounds like
this other guy.
It sounds like some Jackie Chan stuff.
Very much.
Hitting L2, like depending on how many things you've unlocked, like in your skill tree, like it allows you to do like a series of different moves that are located specifically on specific parts of the body. So it's like you can
for martial arts.
Like if you hit L2, it slows everything down. You can like point towards the feet and do a sweep. Maybe you can point towards an eye and do an eye gouge. Point towards the neck and do like a neck like punch, and stuff like that, or a throat punch.
Nice.
So there's a lot of different things that you can do that like. Okay, I'm slowing down the action for a second. I'm going to take this guy out with a single hit because like you're building a meter to do a move like that, and so like there's like a focus meter. Dude, this game is really like mechanically rich. Like there's a lot of things going on here. You're not just hitting like heavy punches and
it's like a fighting game almost.
And if you're doing a sweep, you have the option to start pummeling when they're on the floor.
When they're on the ground, you can walk up to them and just start ground and pounding them.
And that feels amazing.
It's all about crowd control and just knocking out people at the right time and making sure that you have enough distance between 2 people. You can switch off attacking one person and bounce off another person, kind of like the Arkham games, But don't expect you to have like this huge invisibility, iframe window of like being able to parry. Like you need to be really hitting that parry and block at the right time. But the parry button is also the dodge button. You can dodge out of the way of stuff as well. Like it's really it does take some getting used to, but like I feel. Like after you make a few runs on that first level, like you really start getting it, and it's really satisfying, and I just wish I could like it more, but it's all made by white people, so I can't love it.
I'm not. Yeah, in fact, the Kung Fu feels less good because it's white people doing it.
Yeah. I feel like it. Yeah, exactly.
I would say that there's a hallway fight in the very first level.
Yep.
And I'm like, immediately I was like, oh, this is everything I wanted out of a martial arts game. Like this is like, and you walk in, and I walked in with a pipe. I already had a weapon. So I was like, oh, this is old boy. And I'm just boop, 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 boop. Like I'm just, it felt
it like switches perspective, right? Because you're looking down the hallway and then it switches to the side.
It switches to the side angle like old boy,
I've never seen the game switch back to the side like that since then. So that was a specific moment for that level,
Yeah. Homage, as they call it.
And homage,
A homage.
A homage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
so
game.
this game is
It's-
very much impressing me. Definitely
I
up there.
will see you at the end of the year in the Game of the Year talk. Not that it's
Oh
going to
my
be Game of
God,
the
you
Year,
will,
but like,
absolutely.
it will be a game that I really fight for in terms of if we do like a combat like ranking or something like that. So,
I just want to call out the hypocrisy that Returnal didn't make it, and we're gonna talk about this roguelite. Like it's
Well, if Returnal was Kung Fu oriented, we wouldn't be having that conversation.
Oh, it's because it was a woman. I get it.
Yeah, if Returnal didn't have where you had to like play 4 hours straight to like make any progress, like it would.
No, I get it. You guys suck at games, and it was a womanly character.
I gave you a big compliment earlier, Dan. You don't have to. I called you the MLG guy of the podcast. Right? You don't have to do what you're doing right now.
I mean, I gotta brag about something, Kyle, because I have nothing else.
You know what? Don't let me take that away from you.
And I will say,
shame on me. How dare me?
Sifu is like $40, and that's a steal in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think it's really good. I think there's a lot of game here too.
And there's and there's max 5 levels, but it expects you to constantly like replay levels.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I mean, you can make it last as long as you want to.
Because you'll get keys that open up different pathways through the levels, and like they'll take you through parts of the levels that are completely different than other parts. Like there might be a shorter pathway to the boss or whatever, but it's a different alleyway. It's a different hallway. It's a different you're fighting different types of enemies and stuff like that. So like there's
Do you have to keep finding that key, or is it permanently unlocked?
No, that's something that is unlocked forever. So once you make a run, you get a key or an article or something that goes on like there's kind of like not a mission board, but it's like a mystery board.
Yeah, it's like an intel board.
You're piecing together like
a. You keep that intel for each.
Yeah,
level.
It's intel. Thank you. It's an intel board. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I love that. I love that board too. Like, because there's like strings that attach. Once he discovers how to connect certain pieces. It's so cool.
I think the more permanent stuff that you are receiving in a roguelike, the more I enjoy them.
Sure.
Which I know is like the exact opposite of what a roguelike is supposed to be. Like
I think giving the option is good. I think it's all probably asking too much because it's basically like build 2 games. But like I think if you're gonna do a roguelike, kind of give people the option to also have it be a regular game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Yeah, I mean, I would hate to tell a developer.
GetsuFumaDen does that, where it's like apprentice or regular.
I think people would
have some of that. So
I think people would have liked Returnal more. It would have been more of a Metroid game. You know what I mean?
I really think if you just like made Returnal as a normal game, like again, this is so probably sacrilegious to say, but like I would have loved it more if it was just like a straight up Castlevania game.
Yeah.
And I will say about Sifu though, the cool thing about it is level 1 is like definitely easier. Like that hallway fight scene, if you were to do that in like level 3 or 4, you'd probably get your ass handed to you.
Sure.
But in level 1, I'm like, I just feel like an amazing badass in that scene.
It's so cool because like you fight this like mini boss in the first level, and you're like, whoa, that guy was pretty hard, like the big guy, and you fight him again. Like you fight another guy like that later.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Kyle, I took him down immediately.
Yeah, sure. But
I lucked out. I had a finisher stored, and I was like, oh. He's gone.
Then you get to the second level, you fight 2 at the same time, and you're like, oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are assholes. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool game, man. This is like my dream game. I just love martial arts beat 'em ups, and we don't get enough of them. I like the Jet Li game from PS2, Rise to Honor, which is an awful video game. But like, we just don't get enough of these type of martial kung fu
Stranglehold?
action.
I thought Stranglehold was Jet Li. Was that him too?
No, that was Chow Yun Fat. That was Chow Yun Fat.
That's
because
right. He's a pew pew China star.
It's Agent Tequila,
Pew Pew,
so that's Hard Boiled and the Killers and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, Sifu's like you said, dream come true for me. So it delivered on that front because my hopes were really high, and I feel like it delivered exactly. They set expectations correctly, in my opinion.
Yeah. And $40. $40 is a great price. So.
Great price.
And this is a game that, like, if you don't want to buy it right now, like in 4 months, like it's gonna be $20. So.
Yep. Promise you. Yeah, it's. God, we're definitely gonna be talking about this game several times in this podcast. I can't wait till the end of the year. All right, well, that's been a great, healthy episode, a chunky slice, if you will.
Yes, a healthy
episode
chunky
1
slice.
in the record books. Thanks for tuning in. If you watched, don't forget to mash that like button, and subscribe and get notifications when we post new episodes. And,
I think no one's doing it because no one's actually listening to
I think we're on Spotify too. Please go listen to us on Spotify. Don't delete Spotify. Think of the little people that are on there.
Yeah,
and I don't mean like physically little people. I mean, well, yes, think of them too.
but also think of people.
See,
like
now
us.
they're gonna cancel subscriptions because everyone hates Joe Rogan. So
yeah, because he is all of Spotify, right? He's the only person that's on there. Speaking of that, I have a new song on Spotify.
cancel Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff is racist or something. I don't know. Whatever we're mad at Joe Rogan for.
Or something. I don't know.
Please go listen. I encourage you to go listen to my new song. It's OMO because I did not want to title it on my own. That's an extremely boring title, and I wanted to go with something more symmetrical that complemented artwork really well.
I see.
And it worked. The person that did the artwork did it exactly how I imagined it. Made the letters really big and had a really cool background. Yes, please go listen to that song. Doesn't have to be Spotify. It's everywhere. So that'd be really cool. I'm actually really proud of that song.
As someone who is just a metal snob, it's the music that I like. Jeff did an excellent job. It's a great song. It's very nice.
Well, thank you, man.
It's very
Appreciate
nice. It's
that.
catchy. It's got a cool song. It's got a cool sound to it. It's very nice.
It's got like a hip hop beat. Like it's kind of weird. Like it's a weird mix of all genres, which I prefer writing music.
To me, it sounds like something that a lot of people would like, but because you're just like a little guy compared to like a fucking
I'm
whatever.
not Ed Sheeran or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So like who's getting the millions of views and clicks and listens?
Right.
It's like, well, give Jeff a listen because I think it's just as good, if not better. So.
Yeah,
well, thanks,
absolutely.
man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So give Jeff a listen.
Thanks, man.
Do it.
And there's gonna be more of that. I'm going right back in the studio in like a week or so to map out a full length album. Right now I have 12 songs that I want to do. 2 of them are like instrumentals though, so it's kind of like cheating.
Some
But
people just like to chill out to instrumentals,
But it is like a concept album of sort. It's a loose concept album, so it's but very loose. It's not like everything's a story leading in. There's nothing like that happening. It's just there's a loose story being told.
Very loose. That's what she said.
Very loose. I'm actually going to title it Loose.
And
loose in places you shouldn't be.
That's what she said.
Coming soon. So yeah, give us a follow on all the stuff, and thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great Valentine's Day.
Or
treat
don't.
your lady right.
Come on, man.
Or
Wow.
don't.
Man.
Don't do that.
Or them. Treat them right.
Valentine's Days and birthdays were invented by Hallmark to sell cards.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that.
They were Valentine's Day is BS, but if you like it, then more power to you.
See, I did the birthday thing too because that's what Ron Swanson said.
And if they want to do butt stuff, please just be kind.
Be gentle.
You
You know, be gentle.